Hello, we're live. I'm gonna check my settings because I was kind of rushing to get here. Mic's fine and camera's fine too. Yay! How's everyone doing? I was literally listening to a CD right before this, so thank God I have this remote for it because it's all the way over there. I would have been late. Hello everyone. I see people in the chat. I'll move over there in a second. I have had a busy day, which is nice. I like having things to do. I went out with my sister because we needed to pick up a few things, which was nice. And then I got some CDs, which I'll show you. But this, I always put the microphone in the wrong spot. Let me mute it and I'll move it. Hold on. Okay, I think that should be better now. I can actually see what you guys are saying. I'm gonna read the chat. Sorry, I was just paranoid about my settings. I was like triple checking. Wow, people were here so early. That's so nice to both the Sammy and Kian, if they're still here. Oh, and Miko too. Thanks for coming. Oh, and then the countdown. I saw this was so cute because I saw this while I was setting up. Because I was looking at the chat while I was setting up. It was so cute. Hello, hi Deborah. Hi. Oh my gosh, hi Kiki. Yay, I'm so happy you're finally able to make something. Hi Stein. Oh, yeah, you just watched my vlog. I have not been scheduling content, right? So I forgot that like I had a video go up and I was out today. I was at the mall. And when I was there, I was like, oh my God, I had a video go up. So it was kind of cool. Anyways, because I haven't been super consistent. So it felt really nice to have something scheduled for today. I did not even reblog on Tumblr that I was like literally streaming right now. Let me do that. I booked a lot of things today. Like I also had a call with my doctor, which I already knew what it would be about. Like it's nothing serious at all. I just have my typical like long-term like chronic vitamin D deficiency. And so I knew she was going to call about that because I was able to already see my results. So I was like, great, I have to like wait for like her call and I already know what it's going to be about. It was indeed about that. Let me just post this now on Tumblr. There we go. Anyways, so let me catch up with you guys. Hi, Scholarly Coffee. Hi, Brianna. Is it Brianna or is it Brianna? Let me know. Hi, Reese. Hi, Fedina. I hope I'm saying your name right. You just correct me, everyone. If I'm saying anything wrong, please correct me. This is so real. Like, I booked it and then like she was kind of late calling me. So I was like, imagine like she calls me and I was not gonna push the stream. So I was like, I will be streaming like when you call me or whatever, because I already knew what it was gonna be about. But yeah, anyways. Oh, you follow me on TikTok. Yeah, I actually posted a TikTok, like one that I haven't cross posted because it's like it's too long for YouTube and I just don't have the patience to like make it shorter. So on TikTok, I'll try to make stuff under a minute. It's like literally a minute and 5 seconds, but I've been trying to get back onto like doing a little more TikTok stuff. I don't use TikTok as like an app, like social media wise, because I don't for some reason like I don't know, maybe I'm a little too old. TikTok came out when I was in my final year of high school. So I never got on it. So I'm one of those people who is always watching like TikToks like late, like on Instagram and on YouTube Shorts. But thank you for following me. I'm trying to do more content on there, but it's nice to get some content that kind of just is on TikTok, you know. Hello, hi, thanks for coming. I like your profile picture. Brianna. Okay, cool. Like banana. That's cute. I like that. So how's everyone doing? I mean, like I'm doing pretty good, sort of. I'm still in like a bit of like waiting kind of in the meantime, but it's nice I was able to open up my editing services again. So if you're looking for an editor, all the info is in my description typically. Yeah, for my editing services. But finally, I think I'm gonna have some time because I've been so busy with like job stuff the last couple of months to actually sit down and like finally film the editing your writing video. So if you haven't heard from me, it's because I haven't reached out to anybody. So I will reach out to people that I pick and kind of like, because it's been literally 4 months, like double check if they still want to participate. But you might hear from me hopefully soon. Hi, Ronan. Not going to stay because I'm pretty overstimulated from public transit. Real, I was on public transit earlier today. Just wanted to pop in and see you, say hi. Okay, probably pester me on Tumblr. That's fine. That's fine. Thanks for coming and saying hi. And I hope that you feel better soon because it's tiring. Public transit. Wow, quit my job so I can actually make it to a writing stream. Oh, quit your job. Interesting. I mean, like, if that's a great thing for you, I'm so happy for you. And I'm happy that you're able to be here. Hi Pia. Thanks for coming. I literally am so like disorganized. I feel like a bit frazzled because I was like rushing and then I couldn't find my dongle, like, and then I did find it, and then I think it's broken. I don't know. Anyways, because I have to use dongle hell basically because you know every single computer now only has USB-A, right? I don't know. I can't. My brain's not working. The little ones now, and so it's your dongle purgatory, and so I couldn't find one, and then I remembered that my DVD player came with like a little adapter, and so I was like, great, now I don't have to worry about like actually using an actual dongle. I can just keep the adapter on here. Anyways, I see Ashley. Hi, Ashley's in the process of moving, so my apartment is a nightmare. I forgot that you're doing that because like time for me is just like staying still, and like meanwhile like you've been doing a whole bunch of stuff. I'm excited to see you. I actually don't pay attention, so I don't know when you'll be here. But hopefully soon. Kian says, I just finished uni for the year. I'm so happy. I don't feel so exhausted and I feel my creative energy flowing again. Yay! I love that feeling. I miss that feeling because I'm seeing a lot of like my friends or whatever who are still in school or whatever. Like they're like, oh, I'm done this whatever year. And I'm like, that was such a good feeling. I miss that feeling. It's a relief. Writing in Starbucks today. I used to do that last year. It's nice to write in coffee shops, I think. Or in public, to be honest. Like being out of the house, I've been going to the library a lot more often, but not sitting at like the desks. I've been just kind of finding like the better places to kind of sit. And I've been enjoying it quite a bit. Though my computer battery is like shot. Like I use my computer like crazy. So it really needs to be replaced. It's not even very old. So I'm kind of annoyed that it needs to be replaced, but I have to do that. No, not rubbing magnesium. I hope you feel better if you're still here, Ronan. Dongle, like the adapters, the little adapters that you plug things into. Yeah, USB. Is it USB-C? USB-A is the big one. USB-C is what I'm talking about. Hi Charlotte. You're well on the clock. Okay, well, thank you for coming. Literally next weekend. Was I not paying attention? Like I missed some information in the group chat. Okay, I'm so excited. Well, that's stressful for you, but I'm so excited to see you. We should watch a movie. Also using it as an excuse not to do classwork. That's so valid. Did I tell you, Ashley, like our video that we did together is like highly successful on this channel. Like I should really split the earnings with you. A lot of people still ask me about it, so I like use it as a reference. I'll send it to people. So people really like that video. Overpriced hot cocoa, that's valid reason to write in a coffee shop. Writing in public terrifies me. I never really like writing in public. I think I just like got sick and tired of like maybe in the pandemic I wrote so much at home, like I just had to find somewhere else because I never used to like writing in public either. I always get paranoid somebody's like looking at my screen, and sometimes I still worry about that, but like I have worried about it less. I think the more I do it, the more comfortable I am. Anyways, thankful for this stream popping up. Felt so lazy the whole day. You just saved me from missing my writing streak. Yay! Okay, well, we'll actually do some writing in a bit. I'm a bit like all over the place still, and then also don't really know what I'm writing, so I kind of need to figure that out. Brianna says, I'm stuck in the query trenches after a very long period of silence and a full manuscript rejection. I got another full manuscript request today. Well, congrats. Fingers crossed for you. I hope that it goes somewhere. That's awesome. That reminds me, I do need to respond to my own agent. I feel really bad. I need to write an email. I'm so like I've been so behind on so many things. Um, it's super hot right now, so I'm rotting in the couch at the moment. Maybe I'll get the energy to get up and write in a bit. That is so valid because I was at the mall today, and I can imagine it's much much hotter where you are, right? But like, why was the mall so hot? I was shocked. It was not a fun experience at all. Like, I mean, it was so fun because I was with my sister. But oh my god, like, and I don't usually overheat. Like, I prefer to be like hot than cold. And it's like, so I feel you. Like, that's fine to rot on the couch then. um, we were at the. I will show you my CDs. I got some CDs. Actually, the actual CD because I got a couple CDs. I got two. I got Lamb, obviously. This is the one that came out last year, I think, the one of the compilations. This is the singles Echoes from the Edge of Heaven. So it looks like music from the Edge of Heaven, but it's not. It actually has most of the songs I already own, but it has like maybe 6 or 7 that I don't. So, and it has like the cutest like booklet on the inside. I will go through it later. I actually have to post that on my Instagram story. And then I also got Troye Sivan's new album because this is like one of the best photos ever, like of all time. Like as a photographer, I admire this photo so much. And I was like, I don't listen to Troye Sivan, but I was like, I will now. Honestly, the album art reeled me in. I was listening to it before, but the CD is actually so cute. It's a pastel pink. My grandma texted me. All right, I'll have to do that. She's asking me to fry rice, which I'll very gladly do after this. But yeah, the CD is actually in my player right now. But it's so cute. It's pastel pink. It's adorable. Anyways, I think he's coming to Toronto with Charlie XCX, but I don't know if I want to see a double headliner. It depends on how much I enjoy this album. Hello. I'm so sorry that life has been a mess. I'm so happy that you're here though, and I hope things calm down a bit. Things have chilled out a bit for me, I think. Always paranoid someone's reading my screen, and then I remember that I'm never reading anyone else's screen. Exactly. So I stopped worrying about it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you do see someone's screen, I don't usually even process what's like kind of on it. And I don't like I personally would not be able to read somebody's Word document. When I type in public, I don't usually like zoom up all the way anyways. So um yeah, I mean, I've been collecting a whole bunch of whams. So this is like I have gosh, which one is it? Oh, I'm a fake fan. I can't remember. I have the other compilation one that looks very similar to this. So it has most of the songs. Most of their hits. The ones that I don't have is Blue, A Ray of Sunshine, and then there's like the long version of Freedom on here, a remix of Everything She Wants, which might actually be on the other CD I have, and then Battle Stations I don't have. So I'm happy to I'm happy to own it. And the booklet is so cute. So it was like the one that was for like 40 years or whatever. Wham. 85 degrees in April. That's hot, right? Like that's hot, right? Um yeah, Troye Sivan. I mean, I only know Troye Sivan as a YouTuber. Like that's kind of how because like Ashley, who's I don't know if she's still here. I think used to watch Troye Sivan videos. So I don't really know Troye Sivan as a musician, but I think is kind of like adjacent to like Grayson Chance, who's like my favorite artist ever. So I was like, and I was listening to his music. It does actually quite sound like Grayson's pop music. So say hi to my grandma. I need to reply to her. She's gonna be like, where did Rachel go? I have to reply to her. I made some really good fried rice for my brothers a couple days ago, so I hope that I can make more. Though my brother was like, "Can you not put vegetables in it?" And I was like, "Jonathan, like, how am I supposed? It needs to have vegetables in it." So I might have to do like 2 batches. Hi T Frog. We are just talking random things like CDs and fried rice. Love Troy's new album. Yeah, I have listened to like the first 6 songs. Obviously, I know the singles already. I added Rush to my running playlist yesterday. It was insane. It was so good, honestly, to add. That's like the first song you should listen to if you're going on a run. But yeah, I like most of them, I think. So far, yeah, I haven't listened to all of them. There are not that many songs. I like that artists aren't doing giant albums anymore. Like, because I feel like it's been sort of like a thing, like maybe the pandemic, like albums got really, really long. So it's nice to see like, just typical 10-song albums or whatever again. I love CDs. So I went in there because I've been wanting the CD for a long time because like I said, love the photography like on both ends. And there's more photos on the inside actually. I don't know who took this picture. I have to find out because I love it. I love those photos. So I've been wanting it and I saw it was pink. So I was like, it's so cute. I have to have the CD. Because sometimes I buy digital albums. It just depends. But I love CDs. Obviously, we already know this about me. Troye Sivan is a YouTuber over everything. Hard to agree. I don't really remember, just maybe in a couple videos. Because I remember when he had like his first album come out, like that was when like HMV was still around for me. And so like I remember seeing it in stores or whatever, but I'm not like a Troye Sivan fan, but I now am. Stein saw Troye live in 2016. It was amazing. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I think he's coming to Scotiabank Arena here. So I don't know. The tickets might be too expensive for me to like really want to go. I don't know. Hi, Fox Oliver. I'm a little bit late. I'll be doing some reading homework, Jane Eyre, instead of reading all the new All for the Game book like I want to. All for the Game. Is it a series? That's familiar to me. It's just rice and egg. Okay, I'll tell you. This is how please make us fried rice. I'll tell you how I made fried rice. So I made rice earlier that morning. Typically you want to do like day old rice or like older rice, but honestly it didn't really matter because like whatever, it was fine. So it had already been kind of like sitting for a bit and it was fine. So that it wasn't like fresh rice is what I'm saying. You don't want like hot fresh rice from the rice cooker. And then I just do it by eye because like I'm just calling on my ancestors. Like my ancestors will help me through this. And so I used soy sauce, like a bit of just regular, like it's like light sodium, like light soy sauce. And then like a teeny tiny bit of dark soy sauce. And then I used MSG. I did frozen vegetables, like the pack you can get of like peas and like beans and like carrots, corn. Fried that up with some egg, some salt in the egg, whatever. And then add the rice, add the soy sauce, add the dark soy sauce. And then I added oyster sauce. Did it by eye until it's like a nice, like medium brown color. And then that's it. It was so fast. It was so fast. They just want egg fried rice. I think my sister was also like, yeah, like maybe no veggies. And I'm like, okay. Like, I like the vegetables. Hi, Dallin. We are talking about how to make fried rice. Did I tell you guys? I wanted to read some poems, but so this is related to poems because it's a poem month, right? National Poetry Month. I wrote a poem called Egg Fried Rice, and I wrote it in 2021, I think, because there's this local restaurant by my house that sells the best fried rice ever, literally ever. I've never had better fried rice, and it's quite literally, there's nothing in it. There's no vegetables in it. It's just plain rice. And I went up to the lady, it's a local business, right? And I went up to her, and I've been buying food from her since I was in high school. And so this was the first time I was leaving my kind of where I live in Toronto since the pandemic, right? So I wouldn't be home, like, so I couldn't eat her fried rice. So I went up to her and I was like, it's like in August, and I was like, would you like mind like telling me like how you make this fried rice? And she was like, no, like, because then you'll never come back and eat mine. And I told her, I was like, no, ma'am. Like, listen, like, I will never be able to make fried rice as good as you. Like, I will always buy your fried rice. Like, I can't make it that well. I'm just like moving like across the country and like, I'm really going to miss your fried rice. So she told me how to make it. So I wrote a poem about it. Because that was like one of the nicest experiences ever. Like for somebody to give you a recipe, like, like that's such like a beautiful thing that she did. So she told me how to do it. I haven't nailed it, but to make that one, I think it was, I don't know. I didn't make it at all the way that she would make it. So I don't feel bad sharing because I don't think it's not sharing her recipe because her recipe was very basic. It's just like, I can't master it the way that she did, but it's white rice. If you're gonna do it, you have to fry it in butter for the right texture. And then MSG, egg, and then What else? What else? And then like a teeny tiny bit of star anise, which I don't think they actually use, but I couldn't get the right flavor without it. So that's how I did it. Anyways, so um my grandfather, he was my great grandfather was a Chinese man who had a Chinese restaurant. Because if you didn't know, I have Chinese ancestry. My grandmother is on my dad's side. I have Chinese ancestry on both sides, but even majorly on my dad's side. Anyways, so he had like a Chinese restaurant. So I'm like trying to like channel my grandfather whenever I cook fried rice. There was a time when I got very attached to all of my like condiments. It really mattered a lot. Like all of my like traditional ingredients. And it's really nice because I know we're talking about all of this, but like this is so inspirational for like writing for me because me and my dad went to my favorite Asian supermarket. This is one of my like special interests. Like a supermarket, I need to work there because I know where everything is. I know everything that they carry. Like I know, like if you ask me like a very niche question about where to find something in this grocery store, I can take you to it like right away because I love that grocery store so much. So we were at like one of the butchers and there's a soybean curd. I think some vegans use it as like a meat substitute. We call it fuchuk, I think. Like I don't know if that's like the actual name for it, but I think it is because when my dad was taught like this man recognized it. He was a Chinese man, recognized it while my dad was standing in line and was talking to him about it and like how he prepares it. And he was saying it was like soybean curd, and then my dad was like, "Oh, it's fuchuk or whatever." And the guy got so excited because I guess he didn't expect him to actually know the name. Anyway, so then they had a whole conversation about how to like make the soybean curd, and it was so. I need to write a poem about that. Anyways, I just had to bring that up. I got this terrible Mountain Dew cherry drink at the mall today. It's horrible, but it's good. Sorry, I've just been talking about food for a long time. The veggies are good except peas. I hate peas. I like peas in fried rice, but I don't eat it in any other context. So I kind of feel that. I love rice. I feel that too. I think rice is like that is what composes my heart, I think. Starting my rice cooker as we speak, jotting down these fried rice notes because somehow, despite how much I cook, I've never made fried rice yet. Yeah, it's so easy. The simpler, the better. But if you can get MSG, it's so much better with MSG. I was walking after my run, like, damn, stream starts in 2 minutes. I'm just in a field. That's a very lonely experience that you had. I'm so behind on comments. I'm gonna read all of these now. Yesterday I taught an old lady how to use the library holds to check out more books. Oh my god, that's so cute. That's so cute. My dad was an American with an Italian restaurant once. Oh, that is so cool. Channel the Chinese within you. Yeah, I'm about a quarter Chinese. Anyway, so I do have family. I just don't know much about. I don't know much. If you have like if you're like part of the diaspora, you get it. You get it. But it's so cool hearing my grandma's stories because I'll ask her like because I learned how to make moon cakes, right? And that was like a big part of my life and kind of reconnecting with everything. And so I asked my grandma, I was like, "Did your dad like ever make these for you?" And she was like, "Yeah." So it was so nice. And then I was able to make her some kanji over Christmas. You need to if you have not made kanji before, you need to check out is it oh god, I need to find the recipe. Hold on. I'm just gonna find it because this is the easiest food you can ever make, and it's also very like soothing. Like it's super easy to eat. Like if it's hold on. Cooking with Lao is the recipe, and I'm gonna find it. It's so easy. I've never found such like an easy recipe to do because typically kanji is like everyone thinks of it. It's quite hard to make, but they kind of do like life hacks in this one. I'm gonna send this here if you want to check it out. But anyways, so this I made her this and she liked it. So it's nice. It feels good like knowing like she likes the cook like and had the authentic cooking because my great grandfather immigrated to Guyana like from China. So it's interesting. Anyways, I feel that makes me feel nice. So that's just some ancestry 101 with Rachel. I love learning new things. Like my poetry, because it's poetry month, let's wrap this into writing, is so much about me and my culture. And it's so interesting to like not write about me because I've been writing, all the love poems we talked about in the last stream. But before then, it was always about me, and so like poetry is so important for like reconnecting and trying to like learn more about my family because when you're in the diaspora, like, girl, there's no connect. No, like it's really hard to find, like especially like on like in my indigenous lineage, impossible like to find information. It's a very 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 small community anyway, so like finding information on the language, those things are like their experiences in themselves, which I've written about. The one that my poem that was shortlisted for the CBC prize was about me researching my ancestors' language, and I wasn't even sure if it was the right one because we don't even have that much information, which is sad. But I read a lot of poems about it. So, a lady told me my local grocery store carries Irish food in the ethnic food section. I'm so excited to go look for it because I hate having to go all the way to this one store for yummy candy. That is so cool. Oh, that's awesome. I hope that you can find it. Dad's making friends in grocery stores is so real. They were so excited, like, because then my dad went talking to the man like about his family and his mom and everything. What was so fun is when I lived in on the West Coast, my whole family came with me at one point, like including my grandparents. That was so it was like everybody in this tiny apartment. It was a beautiful experience. Like 2 years ago, I think. And when we went to downtown Victoria, the Chinatown in Victoria is the oldest Chinatown, I think, in North America, I think, or in the world. I can't remember. Anyways, so we went down there, and my dad told one of the people who worked there. It's one of the delicious bakeries. I think it's called Walleye Bakery. If you're in Victoria, or you're ever going to go to Victoria, I think it was that. I think it might have been Walleye. It might have been the restaurant next to it. Actually, no, I'm wrong. But actually, go check out that bakery because it's really good. Anyways, so my dad was so excited because he went in and he told people working there, actually, like, my family is Chinese, and he was talking about this whole thing. The next time they went down, like, he brought my grandma, and they were so excited. So then my grandma, like, the people were so excited, they gave them a whole bunch of samples. Like, it was so nice. Like, I need to write about these things. It's so cool. I miss experiences like that. So nice. Um, Cooking is so much fun, especially in Indian dishes, because it's so easy to make vegan. Yeah, I don't do a lot of, I haven't eaten a lot of Indian food, um, or I haven't made any. Though, obviously Guyanese culture, like, big part of it is gonna be, Guyana's an interesting place because it's a lot of different places. The foods are you're gonna recognize because like a lot of different people kind of live there. So I made my first my nose is so itchy, as you can tell, literally red. Why does this always happen when I talk? Does anybody experience this? Except like this always happens when I'm like making videos. Like my nose itself is why. Anyways, I don't get it. What was I saying? I was saying oh, I made curry. I made my own batch. It was so nice. My grandma was like, she was kind of intense about it. I was like, oh my god, Madge. Like I did not think like she could like she's always like kind of like a beautifully intense lady, but then even more intense about the how to make the curry. It was so cool. It was nice to learn. So now I know how to make that too. Anyways, that's a lot of food talk. I'm eating mint chocolate chip ice cream. That sounds great. I'm so sorry. I will move on from the food talk. Oh god, but now I'm thinking about I mentioned that bakery and like before I moved, we went downtown, like my sister and I went, and we went to that bakery I mentioned. If you are ever in Victoria, just come to Victoria for this one reason. Go to that bakery I mentioned. They have giant sesame balls, like the deep fried ones that have like the glutinous, like sticky kind of like mochi feeling on the inside, and then like red bean feel. They were, like, hot, they were I wish I could experience that again. Those were so good. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm in Alberta, but I wanna go to UVic for my second degree, writing degree after I graduate next year. Oh, you're getting a second degree. If you ever have questions about UVic, let me know. Happy to talk about it. Um, I don't officially have ADHD. I'm autistic. Do I need an ADHD assessment? Probably. I just haven't looked into it yet, but it would probably be a good idea. My partner and I used to spend so much time in the Chinatown in our city. They had loads of really good food places. I mean, it's the place to be. It's the place to be honest. I remember there's this soup that like it was so hard to do this because like when I was in Victoria, it's the same place I was talking about with the bakery. They had this really, really good soup. and it's like a pork soup with noodles, and it reminded me a lot of the soup from Kung Fu Panda. Like Kung Fu Panda is one of my favorite movies ever, and like Poe's father's soup, like obviously you're gonna want to eat that. Like it looks so good. So this soup reminds me a lot of that soup. And when I was 17, we went and I had it for the first time. Then the pandemic hit, and I could never have it ever again. And I was like, this is so sad. It was like 2 years later, I was finally able to have the soup again. I don't eat in restaurants, but we were able to do takeout. And my sister and I hyped up the soup to my whole family. We're like, this is the best soup ever. You're not even gonna believe it when you have the soup, and everybody loved it. Like, can you imagine being hyped up on soup for 2 years? Like, um, we ordered sandwiches today for lunch, and my girlfriend got a cubano. I don't know how to say that. And the first thing she said to me about it to me was, "Yours is better." Oh man, should really have lunch. I know. Maybe I'm talking because should I like make this even worse? When I went to the mall, we went to Cinnabon because I had to have Cinnabon. The best cinnamon roll I've ever had in my entire fucking life. It was so good. First of all, they're huge, so we split one. So good. It was so good. Like like the middle of a cinnamon roll is like the best part. The whole thing was like the middle of a cinnamon roll. It was so good. Anyways, um my parents told me I need to get a real degree first. I don't yeah, I get that. So I'm getting a degree as a librarian, then I can get my writing degree. I don't think that's a bad idea. But yeah, definitely ask me about it because I have thoughts. Thoughts. Visit the school if you can. I'm not sure if they've sort of settled out because when I was in school, they were in a pretty transitional period in the department. So and it was also the pandemic. So um He's he's Malay, and I'll admit there were a few moments of white guy can't handle the spice versus he's like, this is not spicy at all. Yeah, no, I think there's like certain levels. I have a very high spice tolerance, like to me, but in comparison to to other like in comparison to other people, like in comparison, like probably to a Korean, my spice tolerance is weak. It's weak. I think and I think my spice tolerance is really high. Like I eat the Thai bird's eye chilies, like I can just eat those raw and that's fine. And it's not like obviously it's painful, but like I like it. It's good. I love spicy food, and I always think that my spice tolerance, I don't think it's actually that good in comparison to there's some things that even I can't handle. And I eat pretty hard food, I think. Um like if you ever eat Caribbean food, you're gonna get Scotch bonnet probably in it. I like Scotch bonnets. I'll just eat those. Those are good. But yeah, I don't. There's even certain levels of spice that I can't handle. Currently a creative writing major with a double minor in film and English. Ah, that's cool. I kind of wish I did a minor. It was kind of too stressful, I think, for me to think about like what to do with my degree because of the pandemic. And then like after that point, you were just kind of in survival mode and like kind of like get me out of this mode because like it was the pandemic. Oh, school. Do you have Dave's Hot Chicken? No. The Dave's Hot Chicken is the best thing in the world. We don't. That sounds so good though. um, no, I get that. I think in comparison to other people, I couldn't handle it. But like for example, like there are some people who can handle like the Samyang, like the Bulldog Samyang, like 2 times spicy noodles, like the ones in the red package. I can't do the 2 times. And honestly, the original, like I can do it. It's just it's better if it is like souped up with like cheese or whatever, which makes it like less spicy, like with more stuff in it. Those are like my favorite food. So if that tells you anything about my spice tolerance, there's also different kinds of spices though. So like there's some that I might be able to handle better than others. Don't think my tolerance is great, but I went to this Brazilian place at a food court and she asked if I wanted the spicy version. I accidentally said yes. It was the best stew I've ever had. Yeah, I think it depends on the kind of spice too. And different regions, I think, have different kind of styles. How do I get inspiration? I want to write, but I have no inspiration. I don't know. I don't really think about inspiration anymore. I don't know. I think I just like write because it's just something that I do. And then hopefully like it feels good when I'm doing it. But if I'm looking like to get inspiration, I'll just read something that I really like. Usually is kind of like what I do. I used to do a lot more things to like get inspiration, but I not really lately. I've been literally looking at master's program outside of the country for like a week because I'm at that point in my degree. Oh, you're thinking of getting your master's? That's cool. I know a lot of people are kind of going back to school too now and getting their master's. I know a couple people doing that. I feel like I'm the only Korean with a weak spice tolerance. Yeah, I don't think I don't know. There's some certain things we have to test it. I think we'd have to test my spice tolerance because I think it's pretty good. It's just probably not as good as other people's. But I think I have one of the better spice tolerances of the people I know. Like my dad has the best spice tolerance that I know of. And I think I have the second best spice tolerance, maybe third best in my family, maybe. I love it from a sensory perspective too. It's so nice. Yeah, I feel that. I never like really thought of it that way until recently, and I was like, yeah, that makes so much sense. Um, do you have critique partners? If so, how do you find them? I'm lucky that I was born with a twin sister. And so my twin and I are critique partners and we just have always been that way. So I'm lucky. Like I was born with my critique partner. So I don't think many people can say that. We were womb mates, like literally, like we were literally in the exact same amniotic sac as well. So like we were quite lucky in that regard. In terms of finding critique partners, it I think is much easier than it used to be because there's like Discord groups. If you're not like on Lindy Jung's Discord, see if you can track down a link to join because go on like I don't know if you know who Lynn is on, but search up Lindy Jung on YouTube, and I think you might be able to find her Discord because I think she has like a critique space. But you can also find them on Goodreads, I think. But Tumblr, maybe even like the writing communities are a lot more like bustling than they used to be. My Irish ass has a surprisingly high spice tolerance. Okay, honestly though, I feel like I'm not as affected by flavor as I am by textures. Interesting. I don't really have an issue with I think either. There are very few things that I won't eat, and even things that I don't like to eat, I'll just continue to eat. The only thing I can think of right now that I don't love is lotus root. Very specific. I'll still eat it. Like I don't love it. There's some like kind of basic things that I like I'm not huge over like avocados, but I've kind of gotten into avocados. I kind of eat everything. I'm lucky. Um this is so real. Some days like I've only recently started to have sort of sensory problems with food, I think. Like I have to sometimes some days I'm like no, it's going to be buttered pasta as well. um Want to get my master's in museum studies and art history. Oh, that's beautiful. I want to work in a museum one day. Oh, that'd be perfect. I think that would be perfect for you. I can imagine that. That's so cool. Ree says, I love spicy food. It's so funny to me and my girlfriend because she's Cuban and Puerto Rican and my dinky white ass has a higher spice tolerance than her. Ooh, okay. That's awesome. That's fun. Um, oh man, now I want spicy food. Listen, I have the spicy noodles upstairs. I'll get some. Also interested in doing archival work. Oh, that's cool. I'm one of my profs was really into archival work, and so we kind of talked about it. I was supposed to go to the archives at one point, like as a class, and then I had something to do, so I couldn't go. I'm switching from a Spanish major to history. Oh, that's cool. Congrats. Um, Pia says, in my experience, you join role play groups and find your life partners in there and thus gain a critique partner. Yeah, I know. It's like I think it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for like a friendship, I would make friends first and then kind of like get into like critiquing work. But on Tumblr, I know there's people who will just like be like, "Oh, I'm looking for a beta reader," and they'll put out a call and it gets reblogs or whatever, and then people like can critique work that way. Avocado kind of my favorite food in the world. I would just eat one on its own. Yeah, I kind of was an avocado hater, and then my mom a couple weeks ago bought some really incredible avocados, and now I'm like, these are so good. It's not that I oppose avocados because I like them. It's just like I prefer not to eat them, but now I like them, which is kind of a problem I think for my budget. Anyways, hi Agnes. We were just talking about a whole bunch of food things because I started talking about food and poetry and um. I have no critique partner. We die like men. I just forget to ask people. Oh my God, that is so real. I mean, if you ever need someone to look at your work, you know where to find me. I only have like my sister looking at my work, so I don't have other critique partners either. So I also just forget to ask people. I realized I'm against doing a writing MFA, so my grad school plans are like, who knows? I never thought about grad school until I went to university and everybody was talking about grad school because like my parents didn't go to university, and so it's not really something that I heard about growing up all that much. Um, yeah, so it feels like kind of a foreign concept. Um, I don't know. If I did, I would go back probably to my alma mater because I don't know, but I don't want to get my MFA either. So that's real. Um, um, literally so autistic about food textures, but I was also so scared of inconveniencing people as a kid that I just convinced myself that I liked certain foods. Oh no, I'm sorry that that happened. I feel like I wasn't very like helpful or like understanding about like food sensitivities before, and now I like feel very strongly about like advocating and like being accessible to people. So I'm sorry that that happened to you, and I'm happy that you're able to kind of figure that out now. um Critique partner and I have been critique partners since like middle school, but she stopped writing in like high school, so I just send her stuff and she reads it. That's real, that's real, that's a relationship too. I think that's kind of how it was for my sister and I for a while. Thea says I'm out of spicy sauce for my pasta. I'm so sorry. That sounds so good. Gosh, I'm thinking about spicy food now. Man, there's this really incredible Korean place. I read the excerpt the last time from Changing States. Man, I miss those restaurants. They were so good. There was this excellent stew. I don't know how to pronounce it. I might be saying it wrong because I actually have never heard it pronounced before, but I think it's called gamjitang. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm very sorry. But it's so good. It's spicy pork bone soup, and the lady who made it, they made the best kimchi I've ever had in my entire life. Like it was so good. Oh, sad. I miss that restaurant very much. Uh, yes, send me micro or flash. Yes, I've been meaning to edit my George Michael flash for forever, so I'd love to send it to you if you want to read it. Not even to critique it, but just to read it because like I feel like that's up your alley. The George Michael flash fiction. Wanted to go into academia since forever. I didn't know this about you. This is like lore I'm learning. It's a horrible profession to go into at the moment. So I'd rather not spend the money. Yeah, I think in Canada, they're very narrow positions. And also, like, I had a hard time in academia. I faced a lot of like ableism and racism in academia that were, not the fault necessarily purely of my department, but just sort of like the idea of like academia as an institution. The amount of ableism was insane. God, it was crazy. So and I felt like I was constantly having to like reach out to people and like confront people and do a lot of like conflict resolution. It was like way too much, I think, for me. I don't think that even though I think I would be excellent at like teaching writing, I don't think that like I can genuinely do it just because of like the circumstances of, who I am, which is very sad, but like I just for my own well-being, I don't think I could handle it. Even though at one point I was like, oh, I think that would be so cool to like be able to teach. But also the positions are very narrow, right? It's hard to find jobs like that in Canada. There are only a couple universities who teach writing at like the university level anyway. Um People who get beta readers from social media are so brave. I always pick critique partners from people I know in real life. Yeah, I think that's kind of like the direction I would go, but that's because I know people. But there was a time when I didn't know people besides my sister, so I did reach out to people. Like I had my little platform, and then even when I was like very very tiny, some people still volunteered and stuff. So Marie says I was gonna go to grad school for neuropsych, but then I got my psych degree and learned that I literally hate everyone in that field. So now grad school is just a nebulous thing I may or may not do. Yeah, I think it's hard to figure out kind of where you want to go. It's kind of me right now. um, oh yay! I'm so happy. I'm in my trying new foods era after a lifetime of picky autism eating. I'm enjoying it. I'm very happy for you. I'm so happy to hear that. I have looked into getting my master's in library tech, but the way librarian jobs are looking in the States right now is so scary. Oh, yeah, I know. It's jobs are hard right now, I think. Um Yeah, university as an autistic was hell when I wasn't able to advocate for myself. It was really, really hard. I'm lucky that like I've always been very good at advocating for myself. And I also had my sister there and like kind of we were able to support each other. And I also have a big support system at home, but it was just like emotionally like way too much. So I don't know. I don't know if I could handle that at this point in my life. A lot of sexism. Yeah, I think I experienced mostly ableism, and then it was racism, and then it was sexism. Um, but it's the intersectional approach is crazy in academia. Oh man. But besides that, I mean, it's a fun experience. Oh no, industry here sucks. Pay cuts all the time. Our prime minister literally believes we should cut humanities degrees. Oh my god. Oh, this is so sad. The world. What have we come to? Oh, I'm so happy that you're finishing your third year of your PhD. Love it, but it's a lot. Oh, I can imagine. But congrats. That's amazing. Um, I want a PhD so I can mansplain back up to all the men who mansplain to me. I think that's valid. um, deeply afraid for jobs and money situations after college because everyone I knew as a kid hated their jobs. You're in the anxiety over jobs place. This is me. I have been waking up with I'm not even gonna say I've literally gone on medication. My anxiety is like skyrocketed. So you're in the right place. Experience an insane amount of misogyny, homophobia, and ableism in my playwriting program, which is so disappointing. I'm so sorry. Those experiences, like of being a marginalized person, like in places that you just want to thrive, it can be like some of the most demoralizing experiences. So I'm so sorry that for anybody on the stream who's had to experience that, it can be really hard. I want a master's kind of just because it feels quicker than getting a whole new bachelor's degree. I cannot do proper university. And I know, like, because master's programs here are also only 2 years. They don't, I think you have to do, there's like no break. It's like all 3 semesters at once. But I mean, that's one thing I've been thinking about. If somebody pays for my master's, I'll do it. I think I'm also very resistant because I didn't pay. I didn't pay for my degree. I paid for it, but I had a scholarship. So my full tuition I didn't have to pay for. And so I don't know, I'm like very resistant to like spending money on tuition because all 4 years of my undergrad were covered, which is pretty much the only way I would recommend getting a degree in writing. I think if it's funded for you and you have like the time and like the financial stability from like other people in your life, like I was very lucky. Um, otherwise it can just, it's kind of like a gamble, I think. I like this approach. Have a job I don't hate but isn't connected to my passions. Would never want to be a full-time writer. Yeah, I will see how it goes when I kind of enter the workforce and see what I kind of like as well. Um, I get you. I get you. I'm so sorry. It can be hard. It can be really hard. I'm focusing on freelancing too right now as I'm sort of like in limbo a little bit. Um, mm, Yeah, publishing industry. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of sort of half involved. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a big industry here. Z says I graduated in 2021 and literally have just started my first full-time job. I'm now settling into is this just what my life looks like forever now crises. I'm sorry that you're experiencing that, but I'm really proud of you that you're doing this job. And also I think it's really nice to hear from like graduates like like who are now like sort of settling into the workforce. It's really like it's good to hear, I think too, because I feel that crisis. It's been me every day. My undergrad's paid for by the great state of Massachusetts, so I'm terrified to look into higher education. I have to pay for it. Yeah, I'm very resistant to that. I think I have to see. It was really hard to upkeep that scholarship. I did have to work hard to upkeep it, but it's not like I didn't pay for it. I did. I had to, I had to upkeep my grades, but it didn't come out of my pocket, right? And so that was kind of like a big part in my degree for me. Um yeah, no, I couldn't be a full-time writer either, I don't think. I don't think. Hello, hi Red. We were just talking about writing and MFAs and like food. um yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good to kind of have there might be projects, but like kind of focusing on it for kind of you. Um I think that's the dream. I don't know if I could write enough to be a full-time writer. I kind of see people who are full-time writers, and I'm not sure if it's for me, at least not in this genre. Maybe if I was writing a different genre. Um, yeah, this is pretty much where I'm at too, I think. I have the same perspective down. I don't think I can handle that either. Like I don't think it's for me. It's not really my like the approach that I really like. Don't have the right brain chemical balance to be creative for a job. Yeah, I think I get that. If I publish a novel, I want it to just be on the side unless I got like an Emma Klein level of an advance / deal. Then I just moved to the woods. Yeah. Yeah. I think it would be nice to, I mean, first of all, to live in the woods. I just think for me, like if I ever do any writing, I just want enough, for whatever that comes from to like help support my family, my parents. Realized a couple of years ago I love theater too much to make a career out of it. Yeah, I think so. I think that's kind of a good perspective when you love something too much to kind of, it's hard to explain, I think, for people who do want to do it, but I get what you're saying. Because I'm autistic, I need an outside pressure to keep me productive and chill. I feel that. I think that's why I have like quite like kind of a rigid routine in how I do things, like kind of day to day. I'm not like traditionally kind of working right now. Anyways, speaking of like working and doing things, it's been 50 minutes. Do you want to see the little book from Wham! The Singles Echoes from the Edge of Heaven before we do the writing sprint? Sorry, I was supposed to show it to you before, and then I forgot. I mean, this was $20. Why did I buy this? Autism will make you do things. This is so cute. Like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? Like, I need to find like the photographers. I'm sure the information's on the inside. I haven't had a chance to like really give it a good look yet, but like I'm gonna die. It's so cute. I was looking at videos on how to like style George Michael's hair because I was like, I was talking about it last time. I want to see if I can blow dry my hair like that. I don't think I can. I think my hair's too long. It looks like the right length, but like the shrink. It's too long. I mean, it's so cute. Show and tell. That's it. That's it. And I have to read all the stuff that's on the inside. Anyways, let me set up my computer so we can do a little bit of writing. I might do a bit of a shorter sprint first, and then we can kind of come back. What am I even writing? I don't know. Let me read these comments here. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Having a separate job has made writing easier. I can dedicate writing on my off days. Yeah. I think that's a good point too. Paid out of state tuition for my 3-year master's degree and paying back the private student loans is kicking my ass. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I can imagine. I know tuition here is much cheaper too. My tuition was like $6,500 a year. And so that was what my scholarship was. And in the US, it's so much more expensive. And that was that's like a university, a 4-year degree costs that much here. So it's much cheaper in Canada. I think the international tuition is like probably less than what your like in-state tuition is. The tuition costs in America are super high. I know that because I have some American family. Yes, I did. That's what I got. Sorry, I just saw this now. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, the vinyl. I think you have the vinyl. I was like, I think Dallin has the vinyl. They didn't have much Wham. They had the one that I can't remember now. The one that I have over there. God, I can't remember the name. Fake Fan. One of the other compilations. The one, what is it called? It's literally right over there. Anyways, they had that one, but I already have it, obviously. So I didn't need to get another one. And then they had this one. And then I was showing everyone else before I got Choice of One CD. which I need to go get it and show you. It's really cute. The pink CD is adorable. I hope more artists do CD releases. They're so cute. My ideal job is to info dump about Greek mythology all day, and because I don't think I could be a teacher, I'll be a museum curator. It said, okay, that's cool. I like that. That's a really good idea. Bye, Kiki. Thanks for coming. Sorry we didn't get to write. My ideal job would to be to prance around all day in a garden. But an office job will do. Yeah, gardens are fun. um, Music from the Edge of Heaven. No, it wasn't that one either. I have so much Wham. It's the other CD that I have. It's like because I have the vinyl of Music from the Edge of Heaven. Yes, you're right. Because actually, like, why did I need to own the same songs in 4 million different like format? Like, autism will get you doing things because you're right. Like, most of these are literally literally on Music from the Edge of Heaven. But the other one I'm talking about, oh, it's Best of Wham. It's the one over there. Though it's really cool. It has I mean, it has the Best of Wham on it. So I saw that one there. It was nice. They have so many compliments. I think this one here is the 4th one. I was on Wikipedia looking it up. I think this is the 4th one, right? The one that came out last year. Anyways, I need to watch the Wham documentary again, man. I need to watch it again. This is capitalism, I think. I'm born to be a lighthouse keeper, forced to make rude people coffee all day. Oh no. All right, let me set up this timer because I didn't mean to talk this long. But the good news is I think I'll be able to stream again next week. So if I talk too much this week, we can write more next week. So I'm gonna set this for 15 minutes. Let's share my screen. Anyway, the music store I went to today was like such a disaster. Like I really didn't enjoy my time there. It was not fun. Like it was not organized properly, so it was kind of stressful. I like thrifting CDs. I'm gonna stick to thrifting CDs. I bought these new, is what I should have said. Anyways, let me set this up and I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. Okay, that was the end of the sprint. I just took the last minute to flip through the the little book on the inside. This is so cute. I have to read the whole thing. Um, Man, I'm just a sucker for this gradient. No more though. No more. How'd that go for you? I honestly have been in an interesting kind of point. Like it's a bit transitional with writing right now. Like let's on this ground, really. I think I've almost done the book, which is good because I don't think I'm gonna. First of all, I don't think I have enough kind of knowledge of book three, like to like just jump right into book three, right? And it's just gonna have as many books as I want to keep writing, like in this AU, and then like when I run out of plot, like I'll just like change it like to a different version, like like I'll make it dystopian again. I don't know. So I'm kind of in a bit of a transitional phase with it because I'm leading up to the end. I'm almost 150k into the book. It doesn't need to be as long as book one. Like book one was 198,000 words, I think, which is stupid, but it just I really didn't intend for it to be this long either. There's really not much has happened. God, this would be such a painful book to read, I think. Like I think this would be difficult to read if you like, like if you're a fan or something and you read this book too, you'd be like, book one was so much better. Like, nothing happened in book two. Book two was like underwhelming. But I don't think I know enough about kind of book three to jump straight into it. To be fair, I finished book one basically like early March of 2023, and I didn't start working book two until September. And most of like the plot kind of shaped actually in October. Anyways, so it's just kind of good to know because I think I'll have to take some time away from sort of like the fantasy stuff for a while. But I hope that went well for you. What are you guys writing, and like kind of how did it go? Book two syndrome's almost ground. Yeah, pretty much. But like it's like kind of like in the best way possible. Like honestly, for a reader, this would probably be like, oh my god. But for me, it's been so fun. Like it's been so like I don't know. It's been so kind of cathartic because like it's so slow, like which is nice. I just finished writing the Harrison chapter, which I called Judas Kiss, which was nice. But like the relationships, like everything is taking so much longer. Like for Reeve to find Aaron took like 100 and something thousand words, like a long time, like to get to that point. For like Lonan to like leave Harrison, like which was supposed to be like his inciting incident, took like 70,000 words, like like it's everything's quite slow. And so it's nice though. It's been fun for me because I've been really enjoying writing these like gargantuan chapters. It's been very fun. All the chapters are very, very long. The word count is almost the same as book one, and there's like half the amount of chapters. So interesting. But anyway, it's kind of nice because after that I might pivot. I might write because I'm not really interested in writing any of like the novellas kind of like full time. I kind of like picking at those periodically. How I work on a novel, I don't know. A different novel. I have no idea. But I just kind of want to just try something, kind of start it like for a month, like as an experiment or something. 158 words in between customers. It's so awesome. I probably wrote around a similar amount and I was just at home. I think that's really impressive. Not everyone can do Catching Fire for real. That is such a good book too. Don't get me started, Pia. Like you are literally gonna make me want to reread all the books because ooh, now I gotta reread them. I remember like I timed how fast I read The Hunger Games one time. It took me 6 hours. Like that was the fastest I could read The Hunger Games. But I really want to like thrift. Every time I go to the thrift store, I've been looking for 3 copies like of Hunger Games, then Catching Fire and Mockingjay, so I can bind them all into one book because I saw somebody on Instagram do that and I thought that was really cool. And I can't find it. So then if I do that, then I can reread that. I think that'd be nice. Finished one handwritten page of my superhero work in progress. Ooh, superheroes, start of chapter 2. That's awesome. I wrote about like a similar amount, I think. I wrote by hand because I was looking at my document and I was like, this is not gonna happen in this document. Sunless Ground Book 2 syndrome. That's kind of iconic to me though. Like literally, like it is a typical book 2, like capital book 2. Like but it's so fun at the same time. Like did I share? I did share all of them. Like, let me just read some of these, like, what were they? I wrote them yesterday. I can just read them all. Like, it'll be so fun. Uh, the log lines for the chapters, because like, listen, like, does this sound like a book two to you? Like, it feels so book two to me. This probably does sound like book two. So these are like all the log lines for the chapters. We'll do like story time of what Sunless Grind is about, because a lot of people, like, I don't talk about the plot of these books because like it just goes by too fast. I don't have time to talk about them basically. So the first, like, it was so fun to write these as like sort of like Netflix. Some of you might have seen this actually already on Tumblr, so you're probably getting this repeated. But it's like the Netflix like episode description. So I want to do Netflix edits for these. But so chapter 1, I read this to my sister when we were on a walk yesterday, and she was enthralled, even though she's like read most of this book. So chapter 1, which is Animal Track, my fave title, is on the cusp of a devastating storm. Reeve struggles to adjust on a painful anniversary. Like, that sounds so legit. Like, what's she doing? Okay, chapter 2 is Split Sanctuary, which is this one is so funny to me because it's like just dragging Harrison to filth. Like, he's just failing at everything. Failing to be the seventh Roost in-house assassin, which is hilarious to me that that's his occupation in this book. Harrison becomes pessimistic about his future with Lonan. Like, that is such like an undermined way to say it. Like, it's so much worse than that. Chapter 3, which is Exit Sign, split between past and present. Reeve undergoes a transformation when Darren goes missing, which was such a cool plot of mine. He was not supposed to do that. He was not supposed to disappear. And then I was like, what if I separate them all? And then the Harrison and Reeve mirroring, like both of them alone. So good. Anyway, chapter 4 is Mercy Move. When Lonan temporarily leaves the seventh Roost, Harrison bonds with his youngest sibling, Chris, which the pronouns are confusing. I'm talking about Lonan's youngest sibling. Chris is so cool. I'm like, that's like such a cool, like, that's who I wanted to be at 16. Chris is so cool. I want to be them. Chapter 5 is North Star. Determined to rescue Darren, Reeve encounters old enemies and a potential friend. Okay. She's like the belle of the ball in this book. Like, she is the main character. Like, Harrison was like the main character of like Seventh Virtue, but like, this is not his book. Like, no one gives a fuck about you in this book. Chapter 6 is Resting Place. After a harem attack, tensions rise between Lonan and Harrison. Tensions rise. Dude, the things that happen in that chapter, tensions rise. Chapter 7, Clean Hands. Allied once again with Darren's older sister, Bev. Reeve must make a difficult choice. Bev is so cool. I don't talk about her enough. She's like lesbian icon. Like, I would let her kill me. Like, I love her. Chapter 8 is Safe Place. Subject to Joel's wrath, Lonan and Harrison unwittingly have a bloody encounter that has devastating consequences for their future. So, like, what happens in that chapter is like Harrison is like almost like accidentally killed by Lonan. Like, Lonan doesn't know that that's happening. Like, he doesn't mean to. I love hurting them. It's so fun. Just the two of them. Everybody else, I feel bad. Chapter 9 is Same Wound, which is an escape attempt gone wrong, leaves Harrison stranded at the seventh Roost and at the mercy of Joel, which is a really, I can't believe I wrote that chapter in January. Why have I written so much of this book this year? I have literally written chapters 9 to like 20 in this year alone. That's crazy. Chapter 10 is Once Close. Reeve and Anna's sisterhood is tested as their alliances diverge, which is a nice way of saying they hate each other. Reeve unexpectedly reunites with an old friend. Chapter 11 is Hard Ground. On the brink of death, poor Harrison, like, Reeve meets up with new people. On the brink of death, Harrison gets deja vu when he's narrowly saved by a mysterious man, which is so interesting because you guys are getting all the backstory because I haven't vlogged about any of this because I've been so behind. But like, I wrote like all the Callahan chapters like after I wrote all these Reeve chapters, so it's so interesting. Like, because I like just inserted him. This was not here before this chapter. Anyways, now he just exists here. Chapter 12 is Automatic Prayer. Foster charges Reeve with special harvest. Like, literally, Reeve is like in her like farmer girl era. Reeve makes an unexpected proposal, which is a literal proposal. And then like Harrison's just like dying. Chapter 13, which is At Once, reunited with Darren. Reeve is relieved until she realizes he's brought Lonan with him and without Harrison. Foster throws an engagement party. Foster and Reeve are just like, we're just having a good time. Foster's like, I am doing a dinner party. Like, he's like, if Hannibal was like not a serial killer and was like, I don't know, like the nicest person you've ever met. Foster and his dinner parties. I want to go to a Foster dinner party. It would be fun. Chapter 14 is Another Life, which is after a whirlwind night. Reeve gets a distressing vision of Harrison and sets out to rescue him, which is such a good chapter. I had such a good time writing that. I wish I was like able to talk about these more. It's just like I write them so fast that I like don't have time to like talk about them, which is like a good problem to have, I think. Chapter 15 is Meeting Waves, which I really like that title. I'm like, that could be a title for a novella, like maybe one day. Harrison's newfound freedoms are restricted when he attempts to kill Callahan. We love that he's killing his future boyfriend, but a memory of Reeve gives him a shot to redeem himself. 16 is Muscle Memory, badly injured by an attack. Reeve is faced with leaving New York for her own safety. Chapter 17 is Quiet Move, which like Callahan is like a snake, right? Like we know that. I know that. Harrison doesn't know that. And so something that's so fun is I've been able to chapter title like all of these things where like if Harrison knew the chapter titles, he'd know that Callahan is a snake, but like he doesn't know. So that's been really fun because obviously he wouldn't know the chapter titles. But Quiet Move, Callahan's generous offer draws Harrison closer to him. Okay. Get closer to that blonde man, Harrison. Chapter 18, which was Judas Kiss, like I mentioned, which I just learned. I didn't know that was an actual phrase. So when I was Googling this, it was so fun. Anyways, forced to harm an ally, Harrison makes an unexpected escape from the Seventh Roost with Callahan as a change occurs in their relationship. Well, I wonder what the change could be. And then chapter 19, which is Noble Soul. Bitter after having been moved to Oklahoma against her wishes, Reeve struggles to adapt at the Fourth Roost, which is so fun because it like we didn't know that it existed. So now it does exist. So that's like where I am. And it was really fun to write those. I wrote them literally in like half an hour yesterday, just like the little log lines. I want to do that for everything because like it's just nice to have like little quick sentences to like describe something that I just wrote just for myself, also just to remember like what was that chapter about. Now I'm gonna catch up on like my 10-minute late comments. I agree with you, Pia. Catching Fire is the best one. No one is doing it like her. Aaliyah says, I've barely written all week, but I managed to get 224 words. Oh, that's awesome. Close to finally finishing my 6th chapter. That's great. That's a lot of words. Got Catching Fire for £1 in a bookstore. I haven't reread it. I was just like, it would be a sin to not have this in my room. That's like the best book ever. Now I want to reread just Catching Fire. I wrote 85 words of Dylan dying, which is, I think, fantastic. Not for Dylan, but writing characters in hard times can either be really difficult. I find it either impossible to do or like easy and fun. Not that like I have utmost empathy for them, so I generally don't have the most fun depending on the scene, but sometimes there are scenes where it is fun. 900-ish so far for the stream. I wrote a bit while we were chatting before the sprint. Oh, yay! On a new adult queer sports romance. Ooh, that sounds cool. I like the chapter titles too. Thank you. I was happy with most of these, I think. I like them better than the Seventh Virtue titles. Like the Seventh Virtue titles, I mostly just like bullshitted. Sunless Ground Netflix show, but there's a laugh track. Only when Harrison is there. That is so perfect. He needs a laugh track in his life. Can you imagine like laugh track at like the worst possible times? That would be so funny. Sunless Ground with the 2000s Nickelodeon style audience sound. He's dying in the audience. It's just like, ooh, it would be so funny. He's just like going through it in this book. So that's why I feel like I need to end it. I need to give him a break. And then he's just going to go into like, it's going to be even worse. It's literally going to be like, what I found interesting is I'm kind of like reversing him and Lonen's like arcs, like from like the genre books. It's so interesting. Like that's such old source material, but like Lonen was the one who kind of like ended up kind of needing a lot of support from a lot of other people, which is kind of what led us to Mothwork and like led us now. So now I'm kind of like rewriting it in a different direction where it's like Harrison is kind of in that position. Anyways, it's kind of interesting to me. Because I think book 2 is going to be kind of more focused on him trying to, because he's been going through it. I'm sorry to him. Trusting a blonde man, massive character flaw. This was his error on the first go. It's so fun because like I don't usually go into like writing a character knowing they're going to be like bad or whatever. Either somebody just kind of like, you know, they just kind of come that way and they kind of figure it out as I go. So it's kind of interesting to write knowing what Callahan's arc is going to be. It might change, but I doubt it. I kind of need him for my plot. So Why would you trust the mom man? I don't know why because he's pretty. He's like, how does Harrison describe it? It's so funny. At the what I think let me find if I can find the quote. He literally says like Callahan, like Lonan is like you know how like Word you have like light mode and dark mode. He's like Lonan is like dark mode, like Callahan. Like so Call's like, what does he say? He says something so funny. I was like, Harrison, don't say that. Like it's but what I think of it's funny as like it's almost like you know like how in Hal's movie Castle, like Hal has like the blonde hair and then he also has the dark hair. It's kind of like that. They look the same, I think. That's why. Let me see if I can find it. He says something about them kind of like resembling each other, but I don't know if I can find it. Something about how he's like, hold on a minute. Yeah, he says the man looks like a light mode version of Lonan. It's like, okay, Microsoft Word, like, but it was funny. I thought that was funny. Only Harrison says stupid shit like that in it. Um, Still have that Harry character in Loverboy where it feels like Harrison off-centered because his name is Harry, but I made him George Michael Blonde and Bobby broke up with him over Midnight Cowboy. Okay, that's perfect. Also, like Harrison, I feel like should we bleach his hair? In actually, this is giving me an idea. I feel like him and Augustus can bleach his hair in Lost Gods. Should I give him? Should I give him George Michael blonde hair? Should I just like copy you and like give him George Michael blonde hair? I think that could be fun. And I support Bobby breaking up with people over the thoughts on Midnight Cowboy. Like I think that's very valid. And I think it's so funny because like I think I told you Harrison's mother calls him Harry, so it's like it is funny because she's the only person who calls him that. So it is off center Harrison, but like to Sue's like it's Harrison. So that's funny. I think we should bleach his hair. We should do George Michael hair on Harrison. I didn't think of doing that because it doesn't really matter for this timeline. It just needs to kind of have grown back out to like normal a couple months later. Yeah, it's just the perfect opportunity to bleach his hair. Okay, maybe I'll have to draw it first and then we'll see. That could be funny. I haven't really been writing Lost Gods in a bit. It's been kind of like it kind of took a bit of a backseat. But what I discovered when I was going through my notebook, I started writing it as a short story. Like let's see. The first sentence is they meet at a cafe, this man and the artist. So I wonder if I'll actually finish it as a short story or if I can kind of like because I'm very intrigued by Lost Gods as a novel concept. I'm very intrigued. I just want to try it. I don't know how far I can get with it, but I just want to try it and see if I can even just write like a chapter. Because I'm intrigued by it. I think it's probably out of all of the concepts the most interesting to me as a novel. Because there's a lot of lore and history, and I was talking about it in like my last stream that I've been thinking about how can I establish this like as a novel, knowing what I know about it now, and also knowing about like the backstory, which is like all the other novellas. But I think for me, it's kind of more interesting to think about writing novels and perspectives of characters I actually care about. So maybe this could be one for publication. I don't know. I'm not thinking about that right now. I think if I start thinking too much about that, it'll kind of stress me out. So I think just having an idea though of like writing a novel that isn't fostered related, though I like the name Harrison, so I could keep his name Harrison, to be honest. If I ever wrote Harrison and Lonan, I could never keep their names because Lonan's name to me is so like I love his name. I think that's a great name. We've talked about it before. But like for some reason now I don't like his name so much. So I'm like, I could never put both of your like it's like too much to have both of their names. But Harrison alone, I don't think is a bad idea. I made my Harry. I wanted to ask what his opinion was, not like Midnight Cowboy, because I couldn't come up with a better opinion. But him as a Harrison Easter egg would be so funny because he gets dunked on by everyone for the single chapter he's in. Harrison can be a hater too, like on his. When I watched Midnight Cowboy, I was like, this is definitely a Lonan favorite, but I mean, I have no idea really what Harrison thinks about it. I think because of the cowboy aesthetic, like he has to like it, but maybe he just has a bad take on it. I don't know. Bobby breaks up with him in a flashback, and Bo sees him in the fictive present and gets really mad at him. Imagine getting to be in Loverboy and Bo hates your ass. Oh my god. They don't talk. He just gets annoyed by his presence. Okay, I love that. I love that so much. Oh, I want to live in that universe. Honestly, I think about your universe and I'm like, it would just be so nice, I think, to live there. Like for a day, you know? Like I just want to go there, take pictures, come back. It'd be fun. Talk to Bo, then come back home. My ideal outing would be going all the way back to the 80s and talking to Bo and then coming back home, I think. Anyway, I'm going to set up another sprint and we'll do a little longer. Do we want to do like 25 minutes? Do you think we can do 25 minutes? I might do 25 minutes because I might go make some tea. But what are you guys working on? Like, is there anything in particular? How are you kind of feeling going into the summer with writing? I always kind of think about the summer because, I don't know, it just feels kind of like a time to work on a project. And I just kind of want to give myself some room to just try something. I'm very scared about like writing actual novels. Like, I know it sounds silly because Sunless Ground is like my 13th novel. And like with the novellas, like my 15th book. I don't remember. It's a lot. I've written a lot of books, but they don't feel like novels. Maybe it's just like imposter syndrome. I don't know. Like I don't know. I remember my prof asked me last year, we were in office hours, and he asked me, he's like, "Oh, are there any of like the novels that you've written like that you would publish?" And I was like, "Well, there might be 2 of them." And I was referring to Mothwork Feeding Habits that like I could. And he was like, "Oh, like because it's always great to like just have a manuscript on hand. You can just like toss it up there." And I was like, but that doesn't feel like a book. Now, maybe if I didn't read it, maybe if somebody else read it, it would feel like a novel. To me, it doesn't. They don't feel like novels to me. So I don't feel like I have a lot of experience in writing novels, even though I've written a lot of them. I don't know. It's weird. Writing novels is just scary. I think it's just very scary to me. But because I was like, I can write 30,000 words of changing states. Like that's basically almost a novel. Like I can do it, right? Sammy says can't stay for long because I'm going out to eat with the fam. But this stream was fun. Thank you for coming, and hopefully for writing as well. Still fighting to finish this novella. Oh well, we love novellas. We hate fighting to finish novellas, but I feel like I also fought to finish every single one of my novellas too. So I feel that novels are really daunting for me. I think writing like an idea of like capital L literary fiction novel like really freaks me out. Like it makes me very scared and afraid. And so I just kind of want to approach it in a way where I don't think of it that way. I just don't feel like, I know we've talked about this before, but I just don't feel like I'm like really smart enough to write anything that somebody would want to read, like, and maybe the things that I write right now are smart. I just don't feel that way at all. Like, and it's so odd because I know I mentioned this in a video and some people related, like I'm quite confident about my writing. Like I like my writing. Maybe I'm not as confident with my storytelling skills. Like I'm confident with my writing. Maybe it's the storytelling that I'm like kind of shaky on. I'm not sure if like I have a story in me, So I don't know. It's been a lot of self-doubt. Not to like get all like angsty on the live, but that's kind of been like something that's been bugging me for like a year. I think especially like, I don't know, thinking more about publication. I try to think as little about publication as possible, to be honest. But when the moments I do, it just kind of freaks me out. So I just don't feel I'm like, I don't know how people, but I'm sure like every single writer who has ever written anything feels that way. It's just like, for some reason, I'm like, I'm different. I don't know. Summer is always a big experimental writing season for me. Something about heat and sunlight has me acting on my. I love that. You know what? You should talk to my sister because my sister always talks about how when she's writing her novel Animal Hour, which some of you might recognize because when she was on Tumblr, she was talking about that project. But Animal Hour, like she's always talking to me about how she can only write it with the heat when there's lots of sun. So interesting. I love that. I love how like I think maybe that's also why like Sunless Ground kind of seems out of season because it's such a winter book for me. Now that it's getting warmer, I'm like, can we like wrap it up? Like, I don't want to rush the ending of it. I don't, but also like it's almost like I could just end it tomorrow and it wouldn't be a big deal because like everything has like Harrison is back, like everything has happened that has had to have happened. So I think I'm just gonna end off on like the wedding and call it a day. Because I just want to write a big party. I think it'd be fun. Actually, I don't enjoy writing big parties, so I don't know why I want to do that because I'm not very good at those. But anyway, I agreed to be interviewed by the magazine publishing my poem, and now I'm scared. I wrote it on the back of a receipt. Bestie, I don't know what's going on either. Listen, okay, I remember doing that. I think I've done that. I think I did that for one of the pieces that, and I was really scared. I was like, oh my god, I feel like I need to sound smart or whatever. And then I was just like, let me just sound like authentic. And I feel like if you just write kind of like about it from the heart, even if you have no idea, like even if you talk about writing it on the back of a receipt, I think that's so cool too. Like just being authentic to what the experience was. I love those interviews the most when I get to hear little like authentic behind the scenes from writers. Dallin says, I want to try and write more Flash/micros again because I haven't for months. Literally have been so detached from that I haven't submitted anything since November. Yeah, me neither. I have submitted nothing. Pia says, listening to the playlist on the bus has brought me back to Keep Staring and I'll Never Fall Asleep. So I'm handwriting for that right now. Oh, that's awesome. We love Keep Staring. I can't complain. Sign says, I'm working on my main Heartstopper fic, and I have a vivid image in my head, but I just can't translate it into words. I think I'm putting too much pressure on myself for a fanfic of all things. I get that. Sometimes it's hard to balance, like, oh, I really want to do this for fun, but oh, wait, like, I really want this to be, like, perfect or whatever. And it's kind of finding that balance, or, like, just constantly telling yourself, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Like, still writing anyway, even though it feels kind of wrong. Listen, I think if you're writing 5 things, it's kind of like, it's kind of like a lazy Susan like approach to writing, like where you have like you're at the restaurant and like you can like kind of spin it around and grab what you want and then like put it back and then spin it around. I think that's a fun way of writing too. I kind of want to try that. Dallin says, I need a Loverboy break at some point, but we're about to enter the timeline. Oh, yes. First chapter's on April 20th. Oh, that's a holiday. That's a holiday. 20th/21st. I'm so excited to live the Loverboy timeline. This is the most exciting thing ever for me. The Sunless Ground timeline like is right now. Like what I'm writing right now is the timeline, but this is more exciting to me. I want to write throughout that because it's only a 6-month timeline. Oh, that's so fun. I love writing during the timelines. I get that. I really do get that. Reese says, I'd love to try and finish my first book project, but I don't know. Getting back to short fiction or even trying my hand at poetry this summer would be fun. So long as I'm writing, I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm trying to like pressure myself less. And I think one thing about me is I've been wanting and I've been thinking about and I've been bugging myself trying to like write a novel. And I think I've just been thinking of the ones that I should write, but the one that is intriguing me is the one that I think I'm going to try to write. And I don't have the pressure of it like needing to be a novel. Like it just, now that I can write novellas, I'm like, if it doesn't go anywhere, it's not really a big deal. But also part of me feels like I don't, like I'm not, I don't know. I'm not like really like the right one, like almost to write like the specific story that I have in mind. I don't know why. I just don't feel, I don't know. Again, like lots of like imposter syndrome sort of dealing with that. But there's certain things that are sort of intriguing to me. I love, I don't know, I've been thinking about this concept, I think because I just keep reading and watching a lot of like queer media where like 2 people meet at school. Like I've been wanting to write that for a while too. So there's like an idea, like I said, the Mothwork rewrite I want to work on too, but I'm not sure if it'll be sort of something that I write in tandem. Like if I want to maybe novelize Lost Gods too. I don't know. We'll have to see. But like that concept is so interesting to me. I mean, there are just certain like concepts in fiction that are interesting to me, and that's one of them. Dallin says, I feel the same. I feel like I can write complex ideas, but like the mechanical parts of the storytelling process stresses me out. Yeah, I think that's always been sort of one of my weak points. I don't feel like very confident in my ability to like, I don't know, structure a story, like tell a story. I can tell good. I remember when I was younger, I always wanted to like be able to like write well for more than a paragraph. And I think I'm at that point where I can write well for more than a paragraph. And now I want to be able to write well for like several chapters. And well is like such a subjective term, right? I don't know. But you never know if you don't try. So I'm trying to like not freak myself out and just be like, let's just try, you know? Pia says, I must look at my Flash fiction and short stories again. Yeah, I love Flash and short stories. I'm no longer writing my collection, right? So there is that one, the goldfish one with Cillian Murphy, the Cillian Murphy goldfish story that is just kind of sitting around. If anyone wants to read that, let me know because I have nowhere to put it now. So, Last year, I was nervous about not having anything published in 2023. Irrational because who cares? But whatever. So getting a publication in January this year had me like, okay, I'm good for this year. Yeah, I feel that. I totally get you with feeling anxious. I think like especially when there's like certain like you feel that there's like certain buzz about you or like you had certain attention about your writing, it can be like, oh my god, like I haven't gotten anything. Like this year I kind of got lucky with like one of my one publishing credit. Last year I didn't have anything I think that I submitted that year. It was everything that I had like things that were published were things I had submitted the year before, I think. And so I totally feel that and I'm not really focused so much on like constant publications now and it can kind of be a bit scary. So I understand that feeling. I think it says this summer I'm going to try really hard to finish my thriller novella and publish it on Wattpad. So there's low stakes if it's bad. Oh, that's awesome. I'm sure it's great. That sounds so cool. Thriller novella. I love to see people write novellas. We already know this. Chapter 2 is last week of April. I'm like, what if I align the writing to the timeline as much as possible? This is what I did when I was writing Changing States. And it was really quite nice, I think, for a bit. It was hard because I also felt like I was like pressuring myself to stick to the timeline. But like even if you like have one day, I think it's fun to like write to the timeline. Um I am very happy to I will read it if you'd like to send like no pressure to read it anytime soon or anything. Um and I wasn't looking like no pressure for feedback or anything because I'm not doing anything with it. So I'm happy to send it to you if you want to read it. Um I will message you. I'm interested to see if it's any good because I have not reread it since I wrote it. Yeah, I can send me a message and I'll send it to you. Um or like email me, whatever. Like I don't know, whatever. Whatever's easiest. I'm happy to send it to you. Pia says, I also must return to Pointed North. Oh yes, I must get through part 2 so I can finally attempt to tackle the scene in part 3. Ooh, that's so ominous. I love having like a really exciting scene to write up to. There's always like those are like the most fun scenes where I can like play them out of my head. I know that I'm like struggling to do that now because like for some reason I've like become incapable of like I don't know, like just keeping ideas in my head. But when I can find ideas that are just like so playable in my head, those are so fun. Um, yes, please, yes, and yes, I will send it to both of you. I will send it to both of you. I'm excited. Okay, I will reread it. And my dad, obviously, like my dad is a big. Well, he loves like Peak Blinders, so I was like, Dad, I wrote this story, and he was like, What? I have because I thought I was gonna use it, but it collection is dead right now, so that's fine. Honestly, it's much. I feel relieved to be honest. Mm, yes, you need to send me. This would be so fun. Please do. Please, my DMs are always open. Please do. I'm gonna set the timer now because I'm gonna make some tea and then we will do some writing. So let me share this. We're gonna do 25 minutes. We've never done 25 minutes before. I think that'll be fun. And I'll see you guys soon. Yay! Okay, that was the end of that 25-minute sprint. How did that go? That was kind of fun. It gave me enough time to read through the goldfish story that I was talking about and make tea, which is nice. How did that go for you though? I'm kind of impressed by the story. Like, I think it needs revisions. Maybe I I don't know. Anyway, but like it's good. There's something good here. Interesting. I mean, it feels like a very typical story for me. It feels very in line with if you've read my story that was in Carousel, called Eat Well. It's really quite similar to that one. Um, and it actually this one was funnily though, as backstory, I was trying to write another story in Reeves' point of view. And so this one started out in Reeves' point of view. Because I wrote Holiday, um, which is the Reeves story that's named after the song. I wrote that one. That's like one of the adaptation from the Seventh Virtue chapter, which is really, really cool. And I workshopped that story last year. That was like this one of the last stories I workshopped for my degree. And I really liked writing in her head. And so I was like, let me see if I can write another one. Now it's not quite Reeve, I don't think. It doesn't really feel it feels more like like I said, the narrator from Eat Well. So this could almost be like a little sequel almost. Kind of cool. Um 492 words. That's awesome. Yeah, good for you. I'm just not in like a drafty mood. I'm gonna take a long walk, I think, after this. I'm gonna come home, maybe relax. It would be nice to relax. I don't have a run to do today, so I feel kind of like I don't know, I feel kind of restless. I'm loving my runs. I know we were talking about that last week. So I did week 3 and it was so nice. Literally like now I'm like a running like content person, like making videos on freaking running. But I've been loving it. I'm so excited for next week because I think this is like like when you go up to the 5-minute runs, which seems really difficult, like it seems impossible, but like 3 minutes seemed really hard as well. So this is fun for me. I think it's been fun as someone who sucks at running. Anyways, so because I can't go on a run today, I'm like I don't know what to do with myself. I need to rest. My knees need a break. So I'll go on a nice walk and think about my book. Figured out how to spell pharmaceutical and colloquially very productive sprint. Those are tough words to spell. What are words that you can't like that you have trouble spelling? I know that exercise is one that I always used to spell wrong every single time. There's another word I can't think of that I still don't spell right. No matter how hard I try. Yay, hit 2K in the chapter, slowly chipping away at this novella. Yay, good for you. That's awesome. How long are you thinking it's gonna be? I'm always just curious, like, because novellas are like such there's like, such a vast kind of definition. Reeve, my love. I know. Ah, Reeve. We love her. We love talking about her. I forgot it was her birthday. She has a birthday with my cousin. My cousin who was like so important when I was writing the early very like the first books or whatever, fostered or whatever. It was so cute that summer. And so I gave her the same birthday, like to honor my cousin. So that was cute because it was her. If people don't know, you missed on Tumblr. Reeve's birthday is on the 13th of April. So it was nice, which is cool because it's literally the Sunless Ground timeline. It starts on her birthday. So, which is so funny because like I changed her birthday for Seventh Virtue. I changed it to October, but it's weird because canonically, like for literally 10 years, her birthday has been in April. And it also meant that Lonan and Harrison's birthdays were both in January because I had to, anyway, it was a lot of reshuffling. I had to reshuffle everybody's birthdays. And it was so weird for me. I did not like it. So then I was like, but why? Because I had to do it for timeline reasons. But I was like, but why though? Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not publishing this. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care if the timeline doesn't make sense. The only person reading this book, like my sister, doesn't care if the timeline doesn't make sense. I just changed it back. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I just did not want like a whole year because I wanted the book to start on her birthday. And I was like, Seventh Virtue starts in October and it goes to the end of December. It wouldn't have been like I really would not have wanted to like waste that whole year and then have to do it again in October. You know what I'm saying? Like months and months passed. I did not want to do that. So I was like, I don't care. Like, so now it's only been 4 months since the end of Sun Virtue, even though it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't matter. Um, Running so fun. Like, what do you mean have to wait till Sunday? Right? I'm like, I'm so sad about it. This sounds crazy. Like, I feel kind of crazy for saying this because like I love it. I've been loving it so much. Like, who am I? Like, this is not me. I mean, it's who I am now. So, I'm so excited. I'm gonna be able to like listen to all my new music or whatever. Like, I'm so hyped. Like, I don't want to wait. I want to go. 5 minutes was scary but doable. By the time you get to the longer ones, like 25 minutes, they're much easier to me. I saw that you did 25 minutes, and I was like, how do you do that? Like, I'm so intrigued, like wondering if I'll be able to get to that. I'm not sure, but I've been loving it, honestly. And it got so much, like by the end of it, I thought like that 90-second run, I was like, oh, this is a little bit more challenge. By the end of it, I was like, this is nothing. Like, and so I'm so excited to see like if I can handle the 5 minutes. I'm so excited. Anyway, oh, license. Yeah, I don't know how to spell that either. I think it's Licence. I don't know. I have no idea. Lona and Harrison serving Aquarius. Yeah, right. It's so weird because like I don't like really believe in like, you know, like the astrology, but I mean like for my characters I do. Harrison's a Scorpio and Lonan's a Sagittarius, and I just think it like really fits them. Reeve is Aries, right? And so it always made so much sense. So then like I think in the other timeline she was like a Libra, like because like in October, like I know it was so weird. I did not like it. I just couldn't do it. I was like, you are not an October baby. Like Lonan could be an October baby, maybe. Lonan could be a February baby. He's a December baby. It makes more sense as a December baby. But no, anyways, I was just like, I hate this. So I just changed it back. I was like, it doesn't matter if it doesn't make any sense. Acknowledged, yeah, has way too many consonants in a row for me to keep track of. Right? Like, I have no idea what that word, I don't know. I have no idea how to spell it. Strength. I never remember where the H goes. Interesting. Rhythm, yeah. I don't know why it spelled like that. Speak English as a second language. Half of what I do is guesswork. Listen. That's valid too. I can't remember the one word that I can never spell it right. I never spell it right. Tia Dad is an Aries too. Yeah, I think that suits them. Reeve is not a Libra, right? Like it doesn't suit her at all. Like, cause I'm a Libra. I was like, doesn't suit her. I don't know. It doesn't work. Like hers and Aries makes so much more sense, you know. And it's so funny because I didn't pick their birthdays based off of the astrology signs. It just so happened. Foster's a Pisces. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. I think. Right? Is he? No, I'm wrong. No, he's not Pisces. He's Virgo. He's a Virgo. Virgo's perfect for him too. He could be Pisces though. He could be. But anyways, for somebody who doesn't believe in astrology, I wish I did. I sure do know a lot about it for my characters. Okay. It was perfect. It's like the ones that I guessed, like it just kind of like, well, I guess it was coincidence or whatever. That's what ended up working out. Like the dates were perfect for like their signs. Literally Bo being a June Cancer and Bobby being an August Leo makes sense to me, even though I don't get astrology, right? I think astrology is more important to me for my characters than it is like for me. Like I know a lot of people who do astrology. Like a lot of people I know, like my friends, just people I know, like do astrology, and I'm very curious. I'm like, you need to like talk to me about my birth chart. Like I'm so curious. Like maybe I am the way I am because of the stars. I go with months too. Lonan's matches so well to me. Yeah, like the vibe of the month matters. My mom is also a December baby, and like my mom and Lonan have like nothing in common, right? Except that like she feels bad for him. But I think it makes sense. Like, you know, like they're like what, like 9 days, kind of apart in terms of birthdays or whatever. It just makes sense to me. Like my mom's birthday's in December, like Lonan's birthday's in December. It just feels right. I'm like, they both give. And then also the birthstones. Birthstones, like obviously it's just like I never thought about that either. But I love my birthstone. I think I have of the three, like I'm sorry to like diss all other birthstones. But my three favorite of the birthstones, like the trifecta, is sapphire, ruby, and emerald. And so I'm so happy I have sapphire as my birthstone. But the birthstones are so accurate too. Like I think Reeve says like diamond. Darren's is like a Pearl, I think, because he's June baby as well. Um, Harrison's is like, what is it citrine? I don't know. It's like one of the yellow ones. No, I don't know if it's citrine. I don't remember. It's like gold almost. It's his color scheme. It's perfect. Foster, what is August? Oh, it's Peridot. I don't know how to say that. It's the green one. Very Foster. And then Lonan's is it's the blue one of the blue ones. I don't remember. It's not aquamarine, is it? I don't know. It's one of the light blue ones. I'm like, hello, it's perfect. Anyways, sorry. um, okay, so for your novella, okay, the word count. I'm always so curious about novella word counts. My goal right now is 40K, which means I'm saying, okay, that is a longer novella. I'm obsessed. I love that. But honestly, I don't know. It's gonna end up being however long it needs to be at this point. I think that's so cool. That was kind of me going into Changing States thinking it was gonna be 5,000 words and it ended up being 30. Adam is Leo. Oh, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. I feel like that's perfect. I know I'm like, this is me being like, I don't believe in astrology, but I'm like, no, that's perfect. Jude is an Aries. Okay, the Aries club. I only remember the birthdays of the ones that matter to me, to be honest. Like, I don't remember like other characters' birthdays. Yes, Felix and Dorothy. This is a holiday for me, their birthday, January Capricorn. Like other twins, like I don't know that many twins. I hope you know, Dallin, like I consider them like twins I know. Like I don't know that many twins. So I'm like, oh, like the other twins I know, like Felix and Dorothy from the 1980s. Yeah, Foster and Ty slash Ada Virgo Club. Yeah, Foster being a Virgo is like perfect because I remember when I was a kid, you would see like I don't know if you like were on Instagram like in like 2015, like there were always those like astrology posts and they were like kind of memey and it was kind of funny. I loved like scrolling through them and like trying to find like the ones that were like perfect for like my characters. I would read it and be like, oh, this is the one for like Sagittarius. Oh, that's so lone. And I would do that all the time. It was so funny when I was 13. Um when I just had Felix, his birthday was on January 1st, just because I came up with him at New Year's. Oh, I feel like that makes sense as to why he is the way he is. Because like you came up with him on New Year's. I feel like that's like Felix core. Dorothy is more January to me in hindsight. Yeah. No, Dorothy does give January. I think like I don't know, the vibe of January is the vibe of the name Dorothy to me. Um, Jude being a March baby just makes sense. Yeah, Jude, the name is so March coded to me. Like I used to explain this to like a neurotypical person once, like, and they were like, "What the fuck are you saying?" Like I don't know if it's just like maybe it's just like a neurodivergent thing, but like for me, I always associate like months, like names with like vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like certain letters have different vibes to me. I don't know. Anyways, um, yes, you're part of like the elite squad. Like my best friend's birthday's in May, so hers is Emerald, and I was like, and we all both have like 27 birthdays, so it's like I feel like we were meant to be friends. Like hello, like we have like the coolest birthstones. Ruby's so nice. Um, yeah, Peridot is very Bobby. That's so yeah, Bo is a pearl. Bo is a pearl is so perfect. Oh, that's so perfect. The only character whose actual date of birth I'm married to is Mary Paz because it's Valentine's Day. Oh, I love that. That's so perfect. Yes, that's such a slaying. That's so fun. You can make fun of them for not being identical. Yeah, did I tell you that I'm like kind of like mean to fraternal twins? I think I did tell you this. I'm gatekeepy about twins. Like it's one of my toxic traits. I'm trying to change. I'm trying to not be a toxic person, but like I don't think of fraternal twins as twins. I'm so evil. I'm like, I'm a rare twin. I'm such a gatekeepy, identical piece of shit about being a twin. I'm like, I was rare. I so therefore I have the be all end all about twins, but I do see Felix and Dorothy as twins. I mean, they're twins. Like my sister's always like, you can't say that. Like that's I'm trying to change. Okay. Anyways, um, technically he started on Boxing Day, but by New Year's the sickness had taken over. No, but like Felix starting between like the end of the like the Christmas and like the time of the year that feels like a liminal space is so like so Felix to me. Oh, I saw today when I was at the record store, I saw like I was just reading your comment, and this is just reminded me, not necessarily of Felix, but mostly of you. When I was at the store, I saw this like Bruce Springsteen, like I don't know what it was. It was like a compilation vinyl, and I was like, oh my god, this is like Dallencore. I saw it today, and I was like, that's so cool. Them being like January 11th as well. I'm so happy that like I'm with people who get it. Like, people are here who get it. The number 11 is like so them to me. Yeah, Jolie is March 1st. That feels right. I think that feels right. Bo, June 25th. Okay. Okay, him and Darren have very similar birthdays. Darren's birthday is the 27th because he had to be the 27th birthday, just my date. Did you change it to George Michael's birthday? Did I read that right? I don't know. Bobby's August 16. I don't remember the others. Am I wrong? I think Grace and Chance's birthday is on August 16th. Am I wrong? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Now I want to find out because like I have autism. Yeah, it is. That's fun to me. I love August birthday vibes are so fun. I love August as a month. The sickness is the perfect way to describe the Felix rain. That's so funny. Ugh. That's so bad. I've same like the same thing happened to me at the same time with like London and Harrison. That's so funny. 2018 was the year, I think. Literally Felix and Dorothy didn't even share an amniotic sac. I'm so evil when it comes to fraternal twins. I'm so sorry. They are twins. I'm trying to change. And like I'm gatekeepy because like they should have put my mom in the news. Like they really should have, because apparently she told me at the time we were like the 5th case of this specific type of twin. Because like we were not supposed to like this is like a very high risk of pregnancy. And so why didn't my mom not get on the news? Like it's because every other person person who had like this set of twins like would get on the news. It's that rare of like type of twin. I mean, we're not that rare, but actually let me search it up. Let's find out how rare Rachel is. I want to split screen this so I can actually still see you. Let's see how rare we are. Oh, okay. I'm rarer than I thought. Monoamniotic twins. Monoamniotic twins occur when a single fertilized ovum results in identical twins that share a common placenta and amniotic sac. Monoamniotic twins are very uncommon, representing approximately 1% of identical twins and less than 0.1% of all pregnancies. So I'm like kind of triggered that they didn't put my mom on the news. I'm like, you should have done that for like Debbie. Like, why did they not? Why did they not do that for her? Anyways, Bruce Springsteen is so gender. My mom loves Bruce Springsteen. I think my mom and dad were supposed to see Bruce Springsteen. I'm not sure what happened to the show because I think he was having like health problems, so he had to push the show. It was supposed to be in November, I think. But anyways, so if she goes, there will be video. Like there will be. She loves Bruce Springsteen, which is so funny because she loves Bruce Springsteen, I've always been like very irritated by Bruce Springsteen until I was like, why? Like I agree, like he is so tender. But there was on the Christmas CD that my family loves. It's called God, what is it called? Superstar Christmas. His Christmas song, I was like the bane of my existence as a child. I think I feel evil for this, but I think I just disliked it so much because like my mom loved it. I'm like, what kind of evil child? Anyways, let me catch up on these comments. Yeah, January as a month is also so 11. I do agree that Felix and Dorothy are so 11 coded. Yeah, you did change it to George Michael's birthday. It used to be June 29th. I was like, we can move in 4 days. That's valid too. Okay. I need to, you know how like you put friend birthdays on the calendar? Like I'm gonna put OC birthdays on the calendar too. Like this is so important to me because like it was so hard for me like as like a kid. Like I didn't have other people who like felt the same way about like their characters and about their writing who would like celebrate their writing in this way. And I always felt like, is this kind of weird? Like I still did it, but like I always wondered if it was weird, but it's not weird because I think it's the coolest thing ever to like create your own best friends. So um yeah, birthdays are fun. Like Foster's birthday, I hope we can actually do something to celebrate it, because usually every single year, just because of like, it's not like I give a fuck about Foster that much. Like he's like, I'm sorry, like he's a very nice, Harrison would kill me if I said that, but he's just like, like he's a character. But like I have a literally, like, if you haven't watched the video, there's a video on my channel back in 2019 of us, like me, my sister, and my best friend making like Foster's birthday cake, because it's been a tradition to make his birthday cake every year because of like the month. Like when I was in high school, like when you're in summer break, it's August, right? So we always had time. I never had time for anybody else's birthdays to make a cake. So that's why we always celebrate his birthday. Okay, Bo with the same birthday as Pia's best friend. That's awesome. I celebrate all my characters' birthdays, even the ones from the books I wrote in middle school. See? I found my people. Um, okay, I love that you're both July birthdays. That is so fun. I'm like writing this down. Every time people call 7 a lucky number, I'm like, okay, but mine specifically, my ass turned 7 on 777. That is so cool. I'm jealous. That's so cool. I like how like, what is it, congruent it is? That is the perfect birthday. Bad at establishing birthdays for my characters, but I do pick a general month for them. Yeah, the only ones who have actual birthdays are the main fostered cast. I don't have other characters, do I? So Jeremiah. Oh, he does have a birthday. I was like, wait, did I not give him a birthday? Yeah, he has a Halloween birthday. That makes sense. My cousin has a Halloween birthday. So interesting. You have a whole Google calendar? Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I have to add them to add all these character birthdays. I got so annoyed when I missed Bobby's birthday last year because he was still new to me. Oh no, he just got here and I already forgot about him. Could never happen now. Okay. Well, we're all celebrating his birthday. I will celebrate the Bobby and Grayson Chance birthday fusion. I'm so excited. That's gonna be so awesome. Did I tell you when I was at the vintage show, I saw this Judas Priest, like the best of like Judas Priest vinyl, and I was like, oh, Bobby would have loved this. I think it was from, I don't actually know when it was from, actually. It wasn't, I don't know if it was from the 80s. I didn't actually look at it. I should have taken a picture of it. The next time I'm out and I see things that remind me of them, I'll take pictures and I'll send them to you. Because I always see things like when I'm out. When I was out at the poster store a while ago, I got a whole bunch of posters, like a George Michael Faith tour poster. So cool. I saw like all these like like horror movie posters. Like, oh, he would have loved them. I should have taken pictures. Man, the next time I'm there. Okay, we love these like the birthday fusion. Okay, I love this. I love talking about birthdays. People who are like, I love loving my birthday. Like I think for me, like birthdays have always been such an exciting experience because I'm a twin, right? So it's like it's an extravaganza. Now, birthdays are also hard as a twin. Like if you're anybody's writing twins, it's hard to like kind of understand the intricacies, and birthdays is one of them that's kind of hard in the later years because it's like you're always sharing a day. Like nobody will like ever wish you a happy birthday. It's always like both of you, and that's like it's a beautiful experience. Like that, not only is it a perfect experience, it can also be a difficult experience. In a way, it feels like it's not, I wouldn't necessarily say like it's dehumanizing, but it can feel that way almost, like because to get used to like not actually having that day for yourself. So even though it's like the most perfect experience ever, it's also kind of like complicated, at least in my experience. I know I've read a lot of experiences from like other twins too, and I think some people feel the same way, identical twins at least. I don't know about fraternal twins. And so I try to take my birthday as seriously as possible because I think it's kind of cool. So I'm happy that character birthdays also feel like my birthdays. So I also take them seriously. I know some people don't care so much for their birthday, but and that's valid too. But birthdays are I think a big deal for me. We can't beat 777. No, that seems like that would have probably been the most exciting birthday ever, I think. I remember Jeremiah's birthday because it's on Bo's favorite day of the year. Yeah, not me forgetting Jeremiah for a second. Jeremiah also gives July though. I feel like he could also be a July birthday too. Like I think he could be like the last day of the month. Like vibe. Like he just gives that. Anyway. Um Finished my first draft on my main character's birthday. It was so fun. Oh my god, that's so awesome. Like happy birthday, Nadia. The first part of your story is finished. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, what perfect timing. I had wanted so bad to finish changing states on Jeremiah's birthday. I just didn't have time. And it took me like months later, which is fine. Ooh, yeah, Bo would love that, I think. I was like, Bo would love this. His old ass is still winning. I love thinking of the characters as like what their age would be now. Like Lonan and Harrison, they're like a millennial ass. Like I love how they're like millennials in like all timelines. It's so funny. Like either timeline, either they're like on the older end of millennials or they're on the young end of millennials. Every time I see anything George Michael, I think of Loverboy. Oh, that is so cute. That is so perfect, I think. George Michael is so important to Loverboy, but it's kind of funny he released 2 singles at the start of 1987, then nothing for 6 months. That's iconic, to be honest. There's just a lot of George Michael at the start of Loverboy and then a drought until the end. No. I'm staring at him right now. My Faith poster, just the Faith tour poster staring at me from the corner. Do we all have characters who are fraternal twins? I don't have any fraternal twins. I don't have twins, period. I think I'm too traumatized to write twins. But fraternal twins, I was so considering making for this book, for making Lonan and Reeve fraternal twins. it just didn't. I was just like, no, like he's so like he has to be the oldest. Like he has to be the oldest child. I'm sorry, he has to. Ugh. But for like one of the magic system reasons, it would have been so cool if they were fraternal twins. But I was so close to just changing it. I was like, I'll just change all the lore. I was literally writing 2K words a day to finish it on December 21st. Oh my god, that is dedication. That's amazing. That's so cool. I love timelining books to like special dates, characters. I think that's so fun. And I'm happy that like people get it, you know? Me when I remember Bo and Felix and Dorothy are all boomers. I know. I think this is like Sarah's characters, like Nell and like I think Nell and Oliver, I think they're boomers too. I think so. So I'm like, oh man. The 2024 versions of them. Harrison's like what? Like how old are they? I have to pull up my calculator. I can't do this fucking math right now. I should be able to do it because it's not that hard, but I'm not going to be able to that quickly. So I was so good at math too. I just have no practice. They're not really. Oh no, I put them wrong. I was like, that doesn't make sense. I think they're 40 something. Hold on. Like, 24. They have to be 40 something. Subtract 19, 83, 41. I can see them 41. I could definitely see that. Can't remember if I have twin characters. I probably do, but I can't remember. Yeah, I only have the twins that were based off of me and my sister from that YA book that I wrote for a class. That book is actually so good. Should I find some of it? What was it called? Call Me When You're Home. Let me see if I can find it. This was so good. This is a YA book that's about these 2 twins. Oh, okay, here's the elevator pitch. I wrote this for a class. I took a YA class, which was really cool. It's a really cool class in my degree. After she experiences, it's called Call Me When You're Home. It reminds me kind of like, kind of Heartstopper. Like it's kind of in that vibe, you know, like that YA contemporary vibe. I don't think I can write this until I'm like so old. Like I could not write this anytime soon. After she experiences a mental breakdown when her twin Mandy is accepted to an out-of-province university, Cora impulsively moves across the country to test run life apart from her sister by completing an independence bucket list, but risks losing Mandy in the process. Let me see if I can find. Oh, this was. I think I shared some of this on my blog at one point. Let me see if I can find something. And it was also queer and it was so cool to write like these like I don't know, to write that in like a YA context. I never did that when I was a teenager, so it was nice to do that. What can I read? Um let's see. It was so YA. Like I loved the voice. I think it was so nice. Here, we'll read the start of chapter 3. And I love the chapters were so tiny. This one was called New Room. And this was set in like Toronto, Vancouver. Originally, I think I was going to set it New York and San Francisco, I think, maybe. I think. But I didn't want to do research for this class. So I was like, is it Toronto and Vancouver? Because like obviously I didn't have to research Toronto that much. So this is the start of that chapter. This isn't my first time in Toronto, but it is my first time here without Mandy. Auntie Vel moved from Vancouver, where her family's originally from, to Toronto because she, and I quote, likes the smell of gasoline. My mom told her she was free to sniff gasoline at our house in Vancouver, but Auntie Vel likes adventure. Her whole life, she dreamed of owning a flower shop in downtown Toronto where she could customize bouquets for weddings, Valentine's Day, and sometimes even funerals. Mom swears that since she was a kid, she'd have asters or poppies or even dandelions stuck in her hair. 2 years ago, she fulfilled her promise to herself and now lives in an apartment atop the store she's called Vel's Petals and Blooms. Inside, she shows me to my room. Her place is small but well decorated with houseplants. Devil's ivy creeps along a shelf of her bookshelf. A dragon tree sprawls in the corner, and that's only naming two. It's strange being back here without Mandy. The last time Mom brought us to visit, we must have been 16 before Mandy received the letter, before graduation, before the incident. So that was the YA book I was writing. I mean, I haven't written it because I wasn't actually planning on writing like a YA book anytime soon, but if I like ever can figure out like if I can emotionally write it, I would love to write it. I think it would be such a good book. Anyway, so that was, and then like the love interest was so, what was her name? I forgot her name. Now I want to find, now I have to open the document again. Oh my God. Let me see if I can find, actually their meet cute was so cute because I will literally come back to the chat in a second. I'm like, I got distracted now. I'm like bouncing off the walls. Hold on. This was so fun finding that. And I love the title too. My sister helped me come up with that. Like, how nice. Like the twin book, my sister helped me title it. Let me see if I can find it. What is this? What is this class? Did I write it all here? Like, I want to see. What was this girl's name? Because she had such cool hair. She had like blue, like braids, like bright blue braids. Oh, Joy. Joy was her name. Oh, they were cute. Let me see if I can find anything to read. Oh, and then like she really liked sour candy, just like me. Today I literally walked into a candy store like a literal child and like started giggling. And then I saw the candy was like $6 for like a tiny little fucking bag of candy. And I walked out. I was like, I'm not buying this. Let's see. Before I round up to Auntie Vel's apartment again, which is one of several businesses lining the street like a strip mall, I head into what I figure is a mom and pop grocery / convenience store. It's called Turbo Grocery, and little bells jingle as I enter. I've always loved when stores have those. The sound makes me feel special, like I've been teleported somewhere. Someone will usually say hello, a greeting into a new world. It's a nice break from reality, but now I don't want to be noticed. She's just like me. There's no guarantee I won't cry despite my walk. And also, this is my first time being in a grocery store without Mandy. That means my risk for crying has gotten even worse. Being a twin is so interesting. You'll just like be like, this is my first time going on the bus without my sister. This is my first time being here without my sister. Anyway, so one day I want to write this book. I think it would be fun. Anyway, I'm gonna read your comments now. StreamYard always like scrolls me up like a bajillion times, so I always like get lost from where my comments were. Oh, you do have twins. Fraternal twins. Okay, cool. I don't actually, I don't think I see a lot of identical twins in media, probably because it's really like in movies and like even in books. I feel like it's hard to cast identical twins, right? Like it would probably be easier to write fraternal twins because you don't have to cast the same person. Though I don't think my sister and I look that similar. Anyways, sometimes I think about the fact your characters would have been born in the 80s. And I'm like, damn, they were being born and Bo was like at the club. I know, right? It's so weird. It's kind of cool though. I mean, they're all alive at some point. Um, yeah, I want to write a story about a florist or set in a florist shop. Yeah, I love that idea. That's a cool setting. Um, Gay little flower arrangements. Maybe they live in the city, an apartment over the florist shop. That's so beautiful. I love that. I love writing. I've always wanted to live in an apartment above a store. Maybe that's just like romanticizing the experience. I don't know. I've never heard of like anybody's experience actually living in one, but I've always loved that. Oh, I love it so much. Um, yeah, thank you for all the kind words about it. Yeah, I love that. And Joy was so cool. Like she's so cool. And she's like, I think her mother owns like a pottery studio. I can't remember. Anyways, I wrote like the whole outline for it because we had to outline it for the class, which was kind of annoying. But my prof was also a pantser. She just was like, you have to outline it. I was like, okay, fine. Anyways, so that was cool. It was like a couple years ago. It was 2022, I think. Yeah. They had a cute candy store in my hometown growing up, like different tubs of candy they had to ask for, and the guy would weigh it out. But now it's a vape store. No, that's so sad. I remember when I used to visit my cousins over the summer. That well, like they lived right next to a convenience store, and like it was so cool. You could just buy the candy in bulk from the convenience store. It's so fun, good times. And now candy is like so fucking expensive. For what reason? Like, and does anybody know where to buy warheads? Like the 16 people still here, like, where can I buy warheads? Warheads are my favorite candy. One thing about me, I love sour candy. I will give my life for sour candy. But I can't buy warheads here. They're not at Dollarama like they used to be, and they're not at Walmart. Like, what? Do they not sell them here anymore? Like, I'm devastated. And like, toxic waste is not good enough. Like, it's not sour enough. The flavor is great. It's just not sour enough. I'm so crazy about sour candy that I bought citric acid. I just eat the citric acid. Moving on. Anyways, Bo is probably actually at the club on October 31st, 1983, or whatever. Okay, so I love that because he would be born in 1983 too. So in some sense, it could be that like Bo, like however old Bo would be, let's say like 21-year-old Bo, and like actual Bo, like in your book, like are still in the 2005 timeline. So like, how old would Bo be in 2005? I don't know. I can't do the math. I can't do the math. What, in his like 30s? I don't know. It would be so funny if both of those Bows like exist at the same time, because like at the end of Changing, that would be funny. Imagine like two Bows walk into a room. Also, I have a proposition for you, because I saw you said the thing about Lover Bow, and I was like, I feel like we could call like the Lover Boy fans like Lover Bows. Like that was my thought. Oh, my characters, you, me, and Howard are identical twins, but I always forget because the HRT makes Howard look very different. Okay, that's so cool. That's like, I think me and my twin, we have very different ways of like kind of expressing ourselves, and so we don't look alike, I don't think, at all. Even though I think if I did my hair and if I like went like full like femme, like I would probably look like her. I just don't right now. Yeah, in my head, there's a world where they're all together at the same time and the same age, but they could theoretically be in the same universe, but decades apart. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. That's like they exist in the same plane at the same age, but there's also that timeline when they're, like it's like a historically accurate version. That's so cool too. Am I so Bobby? Does Bobby like sour candy? Because I literally ran into the store like a literal child. It was kind of embarrassing. I had to like reel myself in. I love sour candy so much. Like I love sour candy. I'm so sad that I can't find warheads anywhere. Like it's the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Anyways, also have twins in your book Hideout. Identical, actually. Oh, cool. Identical twins are fun. Besides the problems sometimes. I love being an identical twin. It's the best thing that ever happened to me, and vice versa is what we say to each other, because we don't actually know like obviously split or move. He'd be 41 in 2005. Okay, so he's the age that London and Harrison are right now. So like what we're saying is like are like if Bo's in his 60s and like okay, Bo's in his 60s, Jeremiah's in his 40s. Like, lover bows. Okay, you approve. Okay, I was like, I need to run this by Dallin because I feel like this could be the next thing. I feel like this could be the name of like the fans, the fans, me. Um, late 90s, early 2000s ish, but nothing specific because that would take away the magic of ambiguity. I love the like ambiguous timelines too. I think that's fun. Um, you can't put Crocs on this character because of it. No, that's so sad. My story is such a locked in specific timeline. I know the specific days everything happens. It's so obnoxious. Oh, I would kill to see that timeline. Oh, that's so cool. I love seeing like just historically, like just seeing like how that correlates in fiction. I've gotten such a like a sweet spot for like reading fiction where there's like really specific dates. Like I don't know, that's just something that I love. I've been loving so much recently. Oh, I would kill to see that. That is so cool. I only know the specific dates. Like I know them in changing states. I don't know them kind of for body back, kind of for Hella Bodies because it's over a week. Um, I do know the specific dates for Lost Gods because of Harrison's birthday. So it's like a Friday to Friday kind of situation. Ooh, he's so sour coated, candy coated to me. Oh, yes. Well, I think he would have loved. Warheads used to have freezies, and they used to have them in all these different flavors, and they were sour freezies. They were so freaking good. I feel like Bobby would have loved those. Like, they haven't carried them anywhere. I can't find them. Why can't I find any of my? I'm going nuts. Like I need to find my sour. I made sour candy once. It was so good. It was perfect. Actually, I'm gonna find my citric acid and do unwise things with it because I literally took citric acid. I took powdered sugar. I blended them together and I created my own like sour dip because like I love sour candy so much. Anyways, that's one thing about me is I love sour candy. I love sour candy. I love George Michael. I love I love third person present tense. I love Garth Greenwell. Like, those are the things you need to know about me, and that's pretty much my whole personality. I love Grace and Chance. 5 things. There you go. Yeah. I was gonna say, I think if you were a candy, you'd either taste sour or like grape. I think that's so perfect. Sour grape. There we go. I think that's perfect. And also, like, thinking like I feel like Bobby and like Rory, like they would get a lot. I think they're like the same character. I think they would have like those like commentary channels, like like the 2017 like YouTube commentary channels where like they are haters on everything. I feel like they would have those. Am I wrong? Like they would collab. Rory is so like a Bobby coded. um Ooh, 2024 is such a fun year for me. All my characters would turn 60 if they were real. Oh, well, happy birthday to them all. Oh, this is the best year ever then. um yeah, the specificity is so fun. Being able to like commit to a specific timeline. That's one thing. I'm so happy that I specified the timeline as being 2005 because it's just been perfect for like all these details. There are none of those details obviously in feeding habits a tiny bit, not really pop culture though, a little bit. Mothwork, nothing, because I just kind of decided after the fact. Oh, like it's gonna be 2005, perfect year to pick, I think. um, Ooh, debating when to set Evergreen Long because I changed it to the 80s for a while, but I wanted Ezra's moms to be able to get married. Oh, I think, yeah. Also having to do a lot of the research. I'm trying to get better at doing research on like queer history too, because I think it's really important. Obviously when I'm writing like in a historical context too. I'm so excited for Pride this year. I hope I can go to Toronto Pride this year. I will literally, I'm clawing. I couldn't go last year. I was supposed to, but then there was a death in the family, and I didn't go for that reason because my mom wasn't here and she was supposed to go with me, and then that happened, and so I didn't get to go last year. And so I'm clawing at the walls. I have to go. I have to go so bad. Um Lover boys counting down to a specific day. When wondering if I should write down the dates specifically as they happen. Oh, that is so cool. I love the specific being able to track specific timelines. I've always been such an anniversary person. I for literally like a year straight, I posted on my Instagram from the age of 13 to 14 every single month, like the fostered birthday on my Instagram. And it was like the same picture of waffles because like Harrison is like a waffle person. And they were like heart-shaped waffles. And I would post like happy fourth month birthday, Foster, like fostered. Like nobody fucking knew what I was, nobody knew. Actually, to be honest, I talked a lot about my characters. So if I talked to some of my friends, like people who knew me or like were subjected to sitting near me in grade 8, they would be like, "You're still writing with those people?" Because I wouldn't shut up about Harrison. Like one of these people that I knew in elementary school who had gone to school with all year, like I was like, "Oh, like what do you know about my books?" And she was like, "Oh, you like really like a guy like named Harrison." It was so funny. So, anyways, I would post every single month. I love anniversaries. I just think it's so fun to me. Um keep staring is vaguely modern, but I haven't picked when yet or how much technology I want characters to have. This is how I am with Seventh Virtue. It's probably 2019 and it'll just stay like forever 2019 for like the next 10 years of the books. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do pandemic and I can't write the years without being cognizant that there was a pandemic, you know? Like I just can't do that. So, and that that it's still happening. Yeah, I can't write anything past 2019 pretty much. Um, ooh, cassettes and flip phones. Not all of them have cell phones. Ooh, I love thinking about technology, the extent of technology of which my characters have. That's so interesting. Home Habitat, which I love as a title, by the way, is 2007, then jumps to 2012 in the second book. So Teddy and I get to share, yeah, the late 2000s, early 2010s. That's so cool. I love that. Oh, that's so fun. I can't wait to write like a later 2000s project. I know I've like my mid 2000s, but I really want to write that story where Harrison goes to his father's wedding. I just need to figure out how to write Lonan out of it. Should they just like be on a break? Like I don't want him to like maybe he'll be like Will Graham, you know, like oh god, I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil Hannibal. But like you know at the end of like Hannibal where like Will I won't spoil it, but Will like just kind of like ignores his responsibilities. Like maybe that's what we can do it for Harrison. In like 2008. Um Apparently I didn't shut up about Felix in 2019 because I was talking about Saltburn with a friend from uni, and he was like, "You were ahead of your time with the name Felix, right?" I love not shutting up about characters, and then like people that I wouldn't expect to remember things they remember, and I'm like, "Wow, I guess I talked a lot about that." Ugh. But you know what? Like honestly, your characters are kind of iconic and hard to forget because like I did not forget them. Like from the minute like they were introduced from like the OG like title and everything, like I remember them. They're so cool. I love them. So I think also because you write in third person present tense, I'm like, I can't forget. I can't forget them. um Need to set books in the 70s. Yeah. I think doing research is it used to be, and it still kind of is very overwhelming to me, but also I've started to enjoy it. When I think of it as more of like an activity to get really like autistic over, it makes me excited. Like, oh my god, my character held this, you know, even if like they didn't fucking do that. But like getting coupons from like my DVDs from like 2005 or whatever is so fun to me. Like, so taking an approach of like, oh, this isn't like academic, this isn't scary, but like this is just so fun has been like a more accessible way to do it for me, I think. I need a character to see ABBA on tour. Ooh, that's smart. I've not thought about what concerts my characters have gone to. That they've probably gone to all the fun ones that I want to go to. I've had fun with the 70s and the Loverboy flashbacks. Yeah, because Felix and Dorothy were so isolated in their childhood. But Bo wasn't. He was watching Scooby-Doo on like a Saturday morning in 1972. That is so cool. I love that. I want to play more with the early childhood memories too in the 80s with Harrison. I want to write. Ah man, I feel like I could write like that that 2008 book, like I said, and have a lot of childhood memories, because I don't write a lot of childhood memories for him, mostly because I don't think he has that many. So I don't know. I think it would be good though to see some of them if he's starting to process things. Right when I saw the receipt, I was so excited. I get so excited by those things. Like I think, look, I can't even throw away. I know I should have, but like literally the like original plastic that came over, like that I got from like when I got the I Want Your Sex like monogamy mix vinyl that I have over there. Like I didn't throw it away. I've kept it. I folded it and I kept it. Um, did I tell you that I kept this newspaper that I got, and it was about these horror movies, and I was like, I can't throw this away because like I feel like if this was like Bo in like 2023, because it was like last summer, I was like, he wouldn't throw it away. So I have to keep it. So I have newspaper that's like Bo core for some reason. I couldn't throw it away. I was like, I can't. I like historical objects. I think it's fun to me, even if it's literally like plastic from maybe it was even the 2000s from the record, because it was clearly resold, but I liked seeing that this record once cost $5.99 and I had to pay $20 for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, yes, I know. I think I have looked up 80s New York. I have to. Okay, that's actually really smart. This is not going to be helpful for me not writing a million projects at once, because if I get a title for that Harrison project, and if anybody like if we can figure out a way to like get rid of Lonan in that project, like then it's over. Like I will be writing it. I have to write him thinking about his dad. Like it's so interesting to me because I never really did until like quite recently. And so it's kind of an interesting relationship for me to think of. And then also like his name, and also him being like son of Harry, and like to be named after your father and it's not his name. Anyway, it's so interesting. And then like teenage Harrison got up to shenanigans in the 90s for sure. I'm so interested to just historically research more of it. Um, I love Bo. I can't help it. It's like a horror spread. I'll send you a picture. It was when I went to rural Ontario, the thrift store, they gave me like paper to wrap things in. And then I saw it and I was like, well, I can't part with this because it's like movies that I feel like, I don't know, they feel Bocor. So I was like, I have to keep this because it's cute. I need to start a junk journal because then I can put all of this stuff that I keep. I can put it in the junk journal. That's my goal. Actually, I have a whole bunch of notebooks. I should start that today. Uh, my Harrison character. Oh, you have a Harrison? Is named Harrison because his dad's name is Harry. Yeah, Harrison's father is not named Harry. I think his father's name is. His dad had a different name back when like I named his dad in like 2016, but I can't find it anywhere. So I think I renamed him in for Body Bag. I renamed. I think his name might be. I have no idea. I think it might be Ricky. I don't. No, no, it's not. Now I can't remember. I have to find it. Something like that in that vibe. I can't remember his name though. But he's not named after his dad, which I think bothers him in a different way. um, yeah, I love, I love seeing just historically accurate. There's like a video of somebody walking around New York in 2005, and it's perfect for the autism. Actually, I think my brother is going back to New York. I think I'm going to harass him again for more Brooklyn merch. Because my brother was so cute. I was like, Jonathan, like, because he tours, right, with ever so often. So I think he's playing some shows in Brooklyn, I think soon. I don't know when, but I think he's going soon. So I want to ask him. I asked him in the summer, I was like, can you bring me back something from Brooklyn? Because my character is from Brooklyn and I just want something Brooklyn. So he got me this. I have it right here. I can grab it. Oh, I almost dropped it. He got me this keychain. You can't really read it. It just says New York. And it kind of broke. It kind of like split apart. But honestly, it's kind of fun, you know? Because I dropped it the day I got it. I was so sad. Anyways, but I hang it on my wall because it's so cute. So I'm gonna ask him if he can get me somewhere Maybe like maybe something else. I have to go to California though, because then I can get San Francisco stuff. That would be fun. I feel like it's like the osmosis of like autisms. You know, like I get excited now when I see like San Francisco stuff because when I think about obviously I think about your books. I think it's so cool. Anytime I see like anything related to like friend writing, I get very excited about it. I I find that so fun. um my Harrison is the Meg from Little Women retelling. Oh, cool. And I want him to cage match your Harrison. I love that so much. Harrison is such a good name. The problem is that like it's now a millennial baby name. Like it was not a millennial baby name when I named him Harrison. It wasn't a popular name at all. But now it's a millennial baby name. So you will find a whole bunch of little Harrisons running around like in the next couple of years. Oh man. Saw 2000s New York hoodie at the vintage store yesterday. Oh my god. But it was kind of ugly. Listen, the 2000s I think of very fondly and like, oh, it was such a nice girl, like the fashion, the fashion. Um, literally me when I toured Yale for college applications, but I just wanted to go because Ty went there. Yeah, that's so valid. I like I said, I have family in California, so I'm like summer trip. Like I don't, I don't like traveling though, so I don't think I will go. But I've never been. I lived on the West Coast and I never went anywhere. Like never went even to the states on the West before. I've gone to a lot of. I've been to a lot of the U.S. I just because I have family there, right? So most, but just mostly on the East. I haven't been. I don't know how many states. A lot more than probably like average people who have not lived in the US have been. I think maybe like 6 states, maybe. I don't know. I haven't been in a while. Kind of scared to go back. So our autism is a Venn diagram. I know, right? I feel that way. Want to visit San Francisco so bad, but I feel like it would be so weird. Like I could walk to the street I used to model where Felix and Dorothy's apartment is. Oh, that would be so cool. Yeah, like my mom was like, "Oh, you want to go to Las Vegas? Let's go to Las Vegas." And I was like, "Mom, I would die." Like I would because Harrison is like being like embarrassing in front of the fountains of Bellagio. Like, can you like my cousin was just there and like had posted pictures of the fountains of Bellagio, and I was like, I can't handle this. Um, I really need to set something like where I live so then I can have like a zest for life. You know, I need to set something in Toronto so that maybe I just really need to get into Cronenberg because then I'll be, you know what I'm saying? Like, um, maybe that's what I need to do. Just like find lots of like movies that were set or filmed in Toronto. Then it'll make me really excited about like where I live, you know? Um, Oh, I love that picture. I love that picture. My way of touring the Keep Staring City is just putting on Dead Club City. Oh, that's smart too. That's so smart. Yeah, DCC is so the vibes. Like that's just the world, I think. Um, there's a passage in Loverboy about a specific bus stop. Imagine going to San Francisco with me, and I'm like, okay, but we need to look at a bus stop. No, I that would be so exciting. I don't. I think like that is like I don't know, finding specific places to me quite literally one of the most exciting things you can ever do. Like that might sound like I don't know, that doesn't sound boring to me. I think that sounds so fun. I would the whole day trip being like find the bus stop. Oh, perfect. Oh, it's so hot. Yeah, I know. I had to write that I wrote a detail about that. I think Jeremiah forgets that it's so much colder where he lives in Maryland versus in Las Vegas. And so he's not really not used to it. And so there's kind of like an interesting line about that cuz yeah, it's so interesting how warm it is. Oh, I don't love when it gets super hot. I like the weather right now. I hope it will stay like this forever. Me knowing that Toronto summers are insane. They're so uncomfortable. I hate them so much. It's fun. Like July is fun, but also it's like 30 degrees. Like you will die. Like it's so hot you can't even be outside. Like, um, Jude's High School is literally on my college campus. I love modeling places based off of places I know. Like, I see the Peterson Estate from Seventh Virtue just like my college campus, even though like the quad, like even though it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, that's how I see it. You had a line about Toronto and Loverboy that you had to cut. Bobby joked that he wanted to be reborn in Cronenberg's Weird Toronto, but only one Cronenberg Toronto movie came out when he was alive. Yeah, I got to watch them. One of my friends, one of my poetry friends, was really excited to see that, you know, Cronenberg on my list of movies that I've been wanting to watch. So we were talking about it. And so he was like, you have to watch Cronenberg, like the Toronto, like you have to watch it. So I'm so excited. Maybe I'll watch, I want to watch a movie maybe tonight. Maybe I can. It would be fun. I just get so like nervous about being too scared. So I'm gonna just turn on all the lights and it'll be fine. And I don't think it'll be that scary. I'm like, is one Weird Toronto movie enough to justify a specific alternate Weird Toronto to want to reincarnate into? Listen, I think you can make it work. I think you can make it work. Setting. I went to a Lowe's one time to look at paint chips and was like, this is so loaded, feeding habits coded. That's so funny. Oh my god. Yeah, whenever I go to a Home Depot now, I'm gonna be like, Lonan worked there. I really need to write in his era where he's like working. I'm so curious to write that. I'm so curious. Because we don't see that era of him, like besides the very, very like beginning, but we don't actually see him do it. So, anyways, that is so him. Oh, you wrote this in high school. Had an explicit conversation about Jude's high school, and then I ended up at a college across the street. Oh, cool. He loves Videodrome so much, though, so maybe he would just want to be reborn in the Videodrome Toronto. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know Videodrome was set in Toronto. So, like, me and Cronenberg is so interesting because, like, I'm just, like, very autistic about, like, Current Joys, right? And, like, sort of Curse. And so, like, there's a Current Joy song called New Flesh, which is about Videodrome. Like the new flesh is like a word, right? Like a phrase in Videodrome. Anyways, so there's a lyric. So I have like such like an established relationship with these movies. I'm not like I know nothing about because of these songs I've been listening to like for years. Anyways, it is now 6 p.m. I just realized I've been talking for like nearly 3.5 hours. This is the longest stream I've ever done. Listen, we stay for the 3-hour long streams. But I do think I need to log off and go for a walk. Even though the conversation was just getting so good. But this was so fun. Thank you for coming. And I will see you next week. I should be able to see you next week. I'm so excited. And if you know people who need to edit things, I do have time right now as I'm in waiting. So let them know. The Toronto sign at the end, I was like, is this Toronto too? Oh, because I watched all of Crash not realizing it was Toronto. I am so excited. I'm so excited to watch it. And then maybe I'll do a little Crash tour around Toronto one day when I have some time. It'll be fun to kind of map out like if I can find places. I'm also interested where exactly in Toronto they filmed because Toronto's so big. Anyways, that's my new project, I think. I think if I start Cronenberg, it's gonna be like a whole autism thing. So I'm just kind of like waiting for the right time. Anyways, yes, you sleep because it is late. I'm gonna go on my walk. It was nice to see you guys. I'm gonna end the stream and I'm gonna go eat my candy because I'm thinking all about candy. Okay. See you guys, and I hope you listen to good music. I was supposed to read poems and then I forgot. Sorry. Next time. Okay. See ya. I'm gonna sit here while this ends. Bye.